Hello everybody, how we doing? We're finally here, we finally made it. Red Bomb's finally shut up, and I hope you're doing alright. So, does anybody want to join me? Does anybody want to join me, or do you want to sit here and watch me drink beer and talk shit all night? It's up to you. However you want to do it. There's 14 of you, one of you's got to want to come in. So the link's up. Empty Belly, you want to come in? And tell us all about your day at the Super Sausage. Now that went. I know you enjoyed it with Kira and Teresa. That was a really good day. Really did enjoy that. No, nobody wants to come in. Crazy Dad. Come on, Jay, you get in the room. You know you want to. Thank the Lord. Yes. What can I be doing for you? Shadow, how you doing, mate? Nice to see you. I ain't seen you in ages. I've been really busy at working, so I haven't had a catch up on Dragon's live stream. So go get a bottle of whiskey beer, man. No, I ain't doing the whiskey thing. But yeah, Shadow, I haven't been able to catch up on the live streams or anything else. So Belly's got too much. Oh, really? He got too much sausage at the Super Sausage. He had a really good time. It was really nice to see him and his bike, or his car, sorry, with all the stickers all over it. Speaking of stickers, I am getting some soon. So if any of you want one of my stickers, you'll have to come join us. Double JD and Coke. I'll tell you what, Jay, you come in the room and you can have a double JD and Coke. What else? I really am lost of what to talk about. I mean, Red's pretty covered everything in his 15-minute goodbye again. We haven't done this yet. There we go. That's better. So come on. Who's going to join me, or are you all going to be mean and make me sit here all on my own? I'll have to go get a beer. I haven't had one yet. I've been on the coffee all night. Um, come on, rescue me. Someone rescue me. I can't sit here talking on my own. We're down to 14. Come, somebody come and rescue me. Otherwise, I'll start singing and then you'll all be sorry. Aren't they just? Aren't they just? I should have given myself a bit more time between when he comes and when he goes. How are the new tyres? They are absolutely awesome, and I'm probably about halfway through wearing them out now because I've been to Cornwall and I've been to Bournemouth, and as well as my regular 300 and something miles I do every night. Hang on, where's that? Did lots of jobs, Chris. Lots of jobs, Chris. Yeah, not very nice one. It's 18 only, I suppose I better go. Yeah, that's just a disclaimer. Oh, bless you. Oh, proper crazy dad. Yeah, where is MT Belly? I know you want to come in. Yeah, you better join me before I start singing because I will. You know I will. Yeah, yeah, but yeah. Can't even play any music because YouTube would tell me off. Give me that, close that. No, nobody wants to join. Nobody wants to join the conversation. All right. Someone give me a topic. What can I talk about? What do you want to know about? I mean, you tell me. I'm not used to all this sitting here talking on myself. It just doesn't. You're right. YouTube ruins everything. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Crazy Dad. They do ruin everything. Otherwise, I'd sit here and play your music all night. That'd be fun. I thought Brandon was coming back, but obviously something's happened there, and he hasn't. So I hope he's okay. I know he's had some downtime and that. Really, why I haven't got a live wire? Because it would run out of juice before I got to my destination, and then I'd have to sit there waiting for 4 hours for the bloody thing to charge up so I can carry on. And at the moment, I just pull into a petrol station and get fleeced and robbed for petrol. So that's good. What would I ride if it was not a GTR? Ah, that's a good one. I mean, there's a few bikes I like. I quite like cruiser bikes. I quite like the Kawasaki VN 1700. In fact, I'm out looking for one of them if I can. And if I had the money, it'd probably be a Harley Electric Glide. Cruiser bikes. I do like the big cruiser bikes, but the sports touring bike and the GTR just ticked all my boxes for commuting, for holidays, for everything. So even the cat's gonna give me now, bloody thing. Why haven't you got live wire? Explain that one. Oh, bless your MT. Do you want to join MT or not? It's up to you, mate. I know you got your kids there. Could be funny. No, that's excuse me, that's a VN 1600. The VN 1700 has got all the fairing on it and bags. Well, they're not bags; they're solid. They're hard bags and back rocks and things, and a few other little bits on it that I like. So that's the one I like. Carbs or fuel injection? That's a good question. Carbs or fuel injection? Fuel injection every time, just because it's less maintenance and yeah, it's less maintenance, more reliability. Reliability is improved. Um, Injection jets, much better, much more reliable, especially if you ride all year round like I do. And even those with carbs, once the bike starts getting a bit old, if you lay the bike up over winter, you've got to get the carbs all sonic cleaned and everything else, and it's just extra expensive money. Same as I ride a shaft drive just for that cost with riding all year round. I don't have to buy a new chain and sprockets every year. I just add 500 ml of oil to the drive shaft, and that does it all right. So, okay. Any more questions? Actually, I'll tell you what. I'll see if Crumbly. I'll see if I can find a picture of the VN 1700. I think it's a VN 1700 Voyager. If we can bring a picture of it, one up. There we go. So, see if we can just share this. Right. This is the Kawasaki VN 1700 Voyager. Oop, that's all gone wobbly. There we go. That's the VN 1700 Voyager. I like it. It looks very, very similar to the Harley Electric Glides, big V twin 1700, except it's got a lot more electric bits in there. It's very, very nice. Very nice bike. So that is, I'm actively looking for one of those because I would like one of those. Does it come with the gold rings? Well, that would be a chrome thing because somebody was looking at jewellery and it's this, and Google Ads has decided, oh, right, he's looking at jewellery, so I'm going to put it on every page. Um, yeah, I'm going to put it on every page advertisement that you look at. So there you go. So that's that one. There we go. How much one of them? I'm looking for a second-hand one, and They're rarer than rocking horses' teeth at the minute. So it's about anywhere between 8 and 9,000 for a good 4 or 5 year old one. Opinions on Lex Motos? I don't personally like them, but I've never had to have one, and the people I know that have had one have had issues with them. So I personally, they're not my cup of tea. But that's why whoever crops his screen. Yeah, there you go. I remember Lex Motors when they first came out many years ago had lots of reliability issues. They were carburetted and they went orange if they got wet. But they've sorted a lot of those out now. A lot of the new ones are fuel injected and are using slightly more expensive steels and things in them. So yeah, there's less rusting. Yeah, well, if that's what you're after, Paul, then that's what you want to get, mate. Yep. It's not my cup of tea. They're not my cup of tea. I like branded, and my son's ride 125s. The one's got a Kawasaki, and the other one's got a Honda. So, but he did have a Lex motor, and we did have a lot of problems with it. But it was a slightly older one, so I don't have reliability issues. They weren't reliable. No, they wasn't. They wasn't. But they're getting there. Old ones are crap. New ones, EFI and build quality is better. Yes, they are. The build quality is better. So yeah, electronic fuel injection. Yeah, there is. Yeah, Harleys are really, really nice. There's lots of different styles of Harley. You don't have to go for the big cruiser ones. You can get the Sportsters and everything else. And as Crazy Dad keeps saying, the live wire. Although they've removed the Harley badge from the live wires now. So if you've got a live wire with a Harley badge on it, it's probably going to be quite rare. Robin Reliant or electric bike. You know what? I'd rather walk than get an electric bike or drive a Robin Reliant. Hang on. Seen a Honda on Darcy. Yeah, the old bikes do look good, don't they? How's your builds coming along, Crumbly? I know you was rebuilding one of yours, but cruiser style bikes. Keyway Super. I don't know what that one is. What it looks like. Can have a test ride on mine. Yeah, yeah. You put 8 grand in my back pocket. You can have a test ride on mine because then you ain't got to worry about whether you bring it back or not. It's got legs. If it's what you want, it's what you like, Paul. Then go for it because it is what it is. Yeah, that's fine, mate. That's fine. Just come in and talk, mate. Save me talking to myself because I'm going to need to go get a drink in a minute, and I don't want you all sitting here looking at a picture of Marilyn Monroe and my flags because you'll all get bored and you'll all leave me. Not been out on it yet, Crumbly. And mind you, you're up north somewhere, aren't you, Crumbly? So the weather's been a bit pants up there just lately. Um,
Hello. Can you hear
Hello,
me?
mate. How you doing? That's better. I can rest my voice and let somebody else talk.
Sorry. Got
Right.
stopping so all the lights are off and
Yeah, no worries, mate.
everybody's snoozing. So,
No worries, mate.
so what are you doing anyway?
Sorry.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I've had a busy week at work.
I saw you posting
One of
that
those.
video.
Sorry.
I saw your Postman Pat video.
My Postman Pat video.
It's typical
Yeah,
shareholders.
it's just something I had to get off my chest because it's been a big part of everything. Obviously, you know what I do for a living, so it's been a big part of my week. So I've had to, try and
It's typical shareholders, that is. So
yeah,
they take the big bulks for themselves, but when it comes to frontline stuff, they're paying peanuts. It's annoying.
Yeah. Look at it. I only realise how much I'll be talked to when you're on your own. Yeah, you do.
The same thing happened that when my missus works. They all worked through lockdown.
Yeah.
And they're giving peanuts as a pay rise, yet all the big wigs are taking all the money,
Oh yeah, they'll pay out all the shareholders.
Oh,
You've got a CEO there earning over £500,000 a year.
Basically half a chip cop over 2 years.
Oh yeah, they
got
for
2 years.
Basically their bonus, because the missus has just informed me, was near enough half a chip cob over 2 years.
So one chip cob for the 2 years.
Well,
half a chip cob per year.
Yeah, half a chip cob per year.
170 quid out of for 90 people.
Was it 170 quid for
90 odd people?
For 90 odd people.
Jesus.
That's all what they got. Taking in all the money.
Yeah. Well, the Royal Mail, I know their CEO, Simon Thompson, he gets over £500,000 a year.
Yeah.
And then turns around and says, well, there's no money for the postman themselves. So it's like, okay, well, we'll sack you and we'll take your wages and we'll divide it up between them. There you go.
Yeah. Well, like Crumble, as you said, that's what happened with privatisation. Yeah, we've got manufactured thanks for that. So,
absolutely. Hello, you got motorbikes flying past your house?
Oh, yeah, he's probably a Deliveroo twat or something. This time we're not whizzing around.
Mind you, it sounded a bit quick for a Deliveroo. Like food will still be hot when he gets there.
It's either that or it's a local drug dealer doing his deliveries.
Lovely part of Beirut you live in.
Yeah. Well, I don't leave in shooting gun for no reason, because that's what I got his nickname as.
Just down the road, I was while I was on the live stream with Rev, my Facebook ping went off. I had a quick look, and apparently there was a stabbing just down the road from me that had the air ambulance and everything to it. Obviously, I didn't hear it, but all the doors shut. So we'll be under another Section 60 in Milton Keynes soon. So
yeah, he's what was it, 16-year-old lad? Was it in Nottingham City Centre? 4:30 in the afternoon, got stabbed.
14.
Oh, 14, sorry, 14-year-old lad.
Jesus.
Yeah, in the city centre.
10 past 4.
10 past 4 Saturday afternoon in the town centre, got stabbed. So. Because Nottingham got the nickname.
You're about to say, well, you're near my age, MT. When we used to have a little argument when we was younger and we were all going down the pubs and that, we used to hit each other with our hands, didn't we?
Yeah, that was it. It was fisticuffs at dawn. It weren't, a knife or out like that. It's, I watched the thing, I tell you the brilliant film I watched just recently, The Gentleman on Netflix, and there's a bit on that in the Chippy. And I tell you what, his comment of only, boys and kids use weapons, men fight with the brains.
Yeah.
And it's he's bloody true.
He's not wrong.
They're all bloody tooled up nowadays, and it's bloody stupid. They don't know how to fight, they've got to use a weapon of some sort,
Yeah. There was a few comments on the post on Facebook, and one of them reckons there's a bit of a turf war going on between all the little drug dealers or something.
Yeah, a bit local gangs, a bit local drug dealers. That's what it is. So, well, we get it up here. Nottingham got the nickname at one point of shooting them. Because the amount of shootings what were going off.
Yeah.
And they've managed to get rid of all of that problem, and they put the main family who was all involved in that. He's now in prison. Ran the biggest gang in Nottingham. They're all in prison and that, and now it just seems to be knives. Because we had it one night where before the new built the new police station in our area. The
Yeah.
old police station is just down the road from us, and somebody shot at it twice with a 12 gauge at the actual cop shop. You know, and it's like, bloody hell. Yeah, it's not GTA, I tell you that crazy that. It's all the other games like Fortnite and all that lot. It's not GTA.
I've not
Grand
seen
Theft Auto.
Fortnite, so I can't comment on that one. But
No.
I know GTA.
Yeah, it's not Grand Theft Auto. It's a lot of it's because kids nowadays are growing playing games like Fortnite or Call of Duty and things like that. You know, so they think it's, you know, they've got to go out tooled up.
There's a lot of it. I think is there's a lack of discipline that comes out of the
Yeah.
children nowadays.
Well, that's the biggest mistake they've done, is because since they took it away, because, you know, when I was younger, you done it wrong at school, you used to get the cane.
Yeah.
Then they banned the cane,
Mhm.
and then they started saying, oh, you can't hit your kids,
Mhm.
you know. And if you hit your kid, you know, social services get involved and all that lot. And that's where it's gone wrong. The society's gone wrong because the discipline from the parents ain't there anymore. Yeah, I can understand it in some respects, and some of the parents are beating the shit out of the kids. But, you know, you can't just sit there and go, well, what you just did is wrong, and I'm going to take your PlayStation and your Xbox and your phone off you for 2 days, you know, if to do that. Not give him a clap around the ear hole and drag him down the bloody street, you know.
I say bring back national service. There you go.
Well, yeah. Yeah, so they have no fear of the
Kids
police.
don't play outside anymore. Yeah. Or no one parenting, kids don't socialise. There's more coming in the future, and that's from Western Virginia, America. So that's where I love that view.
Well, they don't. That's the problem. You know,
they all know their rights. The problem is they gave them rights.
Yeah.
When you're under a certain age, you shouldn't be allowed to have them. But there you go. No consequences for their actions. Absolutely spot on.
Yeah, because like I say, you know, I got caught scrumping once in the village and got caught by the local copper who grabbed me by my lug holes and dragged me back to my parents' house, you know. You don't get any of that nowadays.
The kid can report his parents to the social services now. Yeah, they can, but half the time they don't have to because the school goes and does it, or the neighbour, or somebody else. So it used to be ring Esther Ranson, didn't it? But now the social services get involved, and once they get involved, things are pretty nasty. Quick shout out, Chris Dimmock. I work with Chris. Hello, mate. How you doing?
Evening,
Hope
Chris.
you're not too drunk. He's off for a jolly in Bournemouth next week.
Yeah, no, good for him. So hopefully I'm going to go back out on the bike. God, knackered my wrist up. Do you know, broke me. Well, you know, I fell off the bike and did my left hand in. Well, I went and fitted that screen to my mate's MT-09. The reason why he's fitted it is because he can't see the display on it when the sun's on it. Because it's an LCD display and it's got it all turned up. And went and fitted that. And the following day, my left bloody wrist, because of the angles are having to get it at, jeez, it was killing me. And then I was going to go on my bloody bike over to see him. Gets all dressed up, gets the bike out, gets on the bike. Bloody thing wouldn't start, so I've had it on charge.
Yeah.
Right, right. So, like I say, this week I've just sort of like been sat here thinking about putting the battery back on it. So I'm going to do it tomorrow because it's meant to be a nice day tomorrow.
Supposed to be a really nice weekend. I know it is round here. I don't know if the further north you get, the wetter it's going to get. But
well, we've got glorious sunshine tomorrow, and then Sunday it's meant to be cloudy, and then Monday it's meant to be raining again with sun. So
I know Wednesday I got absolutely soaked on the way to work, and by the time it came round to bike night and went out and did that, as you'll see on the video, it dried up and got quite nice. But because it had been pissing down with rain all day, not anybody wanted to turn up. So there's only a couple of us there in the end.
Yeah, so yeah, it is safe for kids to play outside. It's just
it depends. I think it depends where in the world you are. I don't know where in the world you are, Sarah, but I know round here it's fairly safe for kids to play outside, and they do play it in the street here. But like I say, there was a stabbing just down the road. It's
I think the problem is the advent of the internet. and computers, because when growing up in the 80s and 90s, you had your ZX81s and BBCs and all that lot, which you played at home. But a lot of the time, you were out with your mates on your push bike or whatever. I grew up in a mining village, so we were out near enough every evening. It was like come home when it gets dark. And I think with the advent of the internet and online gaming and communications through things like Discord and Twitch and YouTube and all that lot,
Yeah.
I think that's what stuck it away. Because kids nowadays, as soon as sit in the bedrooms playing games with their friends and chatting to them via Discord or whatever else, than actually physically going outside with their mates. So
You're right, they are very computer savvy,
Oh, yeah.
very young this age, but it don't do them a lot of good.
no,
They're missing out on all the social life skills.
but there's
Talking to
also
people, meeting people,
if you notice, there's been an increase in kids with vitamin C deficiency because of it.
They're all sat indoors, all
Sorry,
getting
not
scurvy.
C, not C, D, vitamin
D,
D.
yeah, I knew which one you meant.
Yeah,
Yeah, so they're all getting
Because,
scurvy sitting in their bedrooms. Yeah,
well, lockdown hasn't helped a lot of them, because of lockdown, they always sat in the bedrooms playing online and that. Yeah, and they've just got into that habit now of rather than going out in the sunshine meeting the mates, they'd sooner sit in the bedroom or four walls playing on your own PC. Yeah, it's D-port. I got me mixed up. Yeah, it's right.
she wants my shirt. Chris Dimmock wants my shirt. Go buy your own. Go buy your own.
I noticed that when you got up, I thought, did I just see that right? And then when you sat back down, I thought, right, yeah.
This was
funny.
the name of my previous bike. I used to call it that. I had a Kawasaki Versys 1000,
Yeah.
and I bought Dilliga soft puppies for it, the handlebars and little things to go on the back of it, and they all said Dilliga because I heard the phrase Dilliga and I thought I just like it. And really, do I look like I give a fuck? And that was my attitude at the time. So yeah, that's what.
Yeah. So I'll get the battery back on the tin box tomorrow while the bike and take it out for a trundle.
I'll tell you what, Crazy Dad Biker wants me to marry him to Sarah, so change her name again. But I'll tell you what, I'm not putting anybody through misery of marriage, so no, I ain't doing it. He'd Red Bomb, he'd do it. He'd marry her himself and then divorce her and move on to the next one. Four marriages or whatever it was.
I tell you what, Lockwood's video and RB's video, both very, very good videos. I did enjoy watching them. It was interesting finding out about them. I did enjoy yours as well. It was just interesting finding out about, RB and that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, John McClane, he put a really good challenge out there, actually.
Yeah.
I think it went a lot deeper than he probably meant it to go.
Yeah.
I don't think he thought that the likes of Lockwood would have his revelation, Red Bomb would have his, but there you go.
Because when he actually came up with the idea, I actually said, I've already done mine. And I sort of pointed him to one of my videos where I was waffling on about who I am and where I'm from and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he went, oh, yeah. It was like, yeah, very good. It's like, yeah, I've already done that. Introduced myself. So, well, yeah.
I'll tell you what, since I've been to Bournemouth and I've come back, I've been back from Bournemouth 2 weeks now. Yeah. I've still got about 6 videos I've got ready of my own. I've still got nearly everybody's videos I've got to watch. I've been picking up the odd one here and there, but that's been about it. I think I'm going to have to spend all day Saturday just sitting there watching bloody YouTube.
Yeah. I was going to say, I just sort of like, I've got notifications turned on, so when anybody posts, it's all, I'll go and have a look at that. Because normally I'm sat twiddling my thumbs or whatever.
Well, I usually get the notification on my phone and I'll stick it in me watch later list. And yeah, that's really very full at the minute. It's going to take me a while to get through it.
Yeah.
YouTube and beer.
Yeah. Well, like I say, the problem is that I've started following that many people now. It's some days it's like, it's like I'm going to spend most of my days just sat there watching YouTube videos. I'm not catching up on it.
Yeah, love review. Went to jail at a young age. The best experience that put him on the straight. Yeah, it's good. It's good. They caught you young, and you learn your lesson from it. Stepmother ended up in trouble. You shelter kids as well. Hats off to you for that one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's cool.
I'll tell you one thing. I think I've said it before. One thing they should bring back is national bloody service that teaches kids some discipline.
Yeah.
And not only that, it would be a lot cheaper for the to bolster up the army. They'll all be conscripted soon and going off fighting the Russians. So there you go.
Yeah, I notice he's threatening nukes again, isn't he? Because of Finland wanting to join NATO because of their 800-mile border with Russia.
Yeah.
And he thinks, I don't know where he's getting his head in his. Hang on, I don't know why. How he's getting it in his head that as soon as these countries join NATO, America or somebody is going to start sticking nukes in the countries. You know what I mean? Because I wouldn't be surprised if they've already got nukes themselves, these countries. Yeah, and it's just crazy. It's because of the Warsaw Pact broke down. You know, because after World War II, you had the NATO nations and you had the Warsaw Pact. And because of which was like the East Germany, Ukraine, Poland, and all those countries were in the Warsaw Pact. And when the Soviet Union broke down, and Berlin Wall came down, they all pulled out of it and a lot of them started joining NATO. And he's trying to bring it back to, was it post World War II days when they were all in the Warsaw Pact? Yeah, and they're not. Yeah, and a lot of them have realised, we don't want to be involved in communism and whatever. We want to be, run like a democracy. And we've seen how it's better on the West than what it is on the East, sort of thing.
Yeah, that's right. What I see on the news this morning, NATO running exercises in North Macedonia, which is right on the fucking Russian border. So tell me they're not fucking,
Yeah, I know. Well, I think China was meant to be doing a similar thing with Russia, but they pulled out of it, didn't they? China did.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to, because I think, is it Belarus, the other country, what's teamed up with him? They're doing exercises at the minute as well. Yeah. So it's like you've got the NATO lot doing theirs and you've got Belarus doing their stuff.
Yeah. No, that's right. So how long till it all goes bloody wrong?
Well, yeah. Well, it's all Putin, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's something wrong with him.
Oh, we can only hope he is really ill and he dies soon.
Well,
there's a rumour, isn't it? But,
well, the rumour is he's got cancer, isn't he? And apparently, at the moment, he's struggling to find a doctor who will perform surgery on him. This is the rumour, because he's scared that they're going to bloody kill him rather than cure him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a right germaphobe and that as well. I think lockdown did him no good whatsoever. He went fucking loopy. So.
Yeah, your friend Chris is off.
All right then. Take care, Chris.
Yeah, take care, Chris.
I don't see you later. Have fun in Bournemouth next week. And come back educated. There you go.
Yeah.
He's off on a little training course next week. So.
But yeah, I think that's the biggest problem is he's been self-isolating that much. He's got paranoid.
Yeah.
He's had too much time to sit there and think. No. That's how he is anyway. He's just there's something up with him. There really, really is.
There is definitely something up with him.
Well, at least all the hackers have been at it as well with Russian TV and everything. I noticed that.
There you go. You're welcome, Chris. Have a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite funny. I was watching the news the other day about that, where the hackers had gone into all the satellite feeds for the state television programs and changed all the program names and everything, and basically saying, and all propaganda and all this one. Apparently, they did it to the websites as well, and if you actually clicked on the links on the website, it actually took you to proper articles he'd done about how he's lying to the Russian people.
Yeah. I mean, Russia's been like that. Oh God,
Yeah.
ever since I can remember, they've never told their people all the truth, as they. It's always their version of the truth, and it's. I think they invented fucking propaganda, to be honest. But
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Because as soon as this kicked off, he banned all independent TV and news stations. They're not even allowed to talk about it as being a war. It's still classified as a special operations. Yeah, and it's crazy. And it's like they just control it. It's like North Korea, just telling them what he wants them to hear.
Yeah.
You know, he's running it as a dictatorship.
It's all they've been a pain in the arse. I think he's talking about Finland. I don't know, but can we blame Putin for the price of fuel going up?
No, that was going to go. That was they were talking about fuel and everything going up way before the war kicked off.
I think the war is just a convenient excuse for themselves.
Yeah, it's just the government's excuse for saying, "Oh yeah, it's because of the war in Russia." No, it weren't. The price of fuel and cost of living were going to go up way before that happened.
Yeah, they were.
And it's just that they're just using it, isn't it? It's a convenient excuse to blame it all on Russia.
No, that's right.
Well, yeah, it's crazy. It really, really is.
God. It's been a long day.
Yeah.
I've been up since 6. I think I fancy a beer. So I'm just going to get a glass.
No problem. I'll just sit here and waffle. Mal, Crumbly, get yourself on camera. We haven't seen you for a while. Come join us. I say, you guys, you need to join in one day. Time for bedtime.
Hey, back. It didn't take me long.
Yeah. I was saying, I'm surprised Mal hadn't joined us.
Hey?
We haven't seen Crumbly Mal. We haven't seen him for ages on camera.
No, I ain't seen him on camera for ages.
No.
He's not put many of his videos up either. I've noticed.
Where are you then? I wonder if you will. Hey?
Where are you then? I will if you will. Time for bedtime. Right. Well. Yeah. MT can't come on camera because he's got all his lights off.
Yeah, I'm in darkness. So, like I said, got the
Probably you can come on. You don't have to turn your camera on. It'd be an easier way at all. And discuss Putin.
Yeah, like I say, it's just crazy at the moment.
Oh yeah, I've got Simon Brackett. Hello, mate.
Simon. Hi, Simon. It's great to see you.
I'm here.
Yep.
Hello.
Me, you know.
We can hear you.
Yeah, it's like delay on the bloody phone.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. You got YouTube open still on something, or is it just your microphone picking up the chat?
Yeah, you need to mute whatever you got YouTube on. Simon.
Yeah, it's on the TV.
Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah, I was trying to join in earlier when Howie was on about his anxiety attack because, funnily enough, I had one of them today. It was like I get them quite regular. Oh, hello, he's gone again.
No, where'd he go? He
Technical
removed
problems.
himself from the stream. There you go. We're back.
There you go. He's back. No, he's gone again.
No, he's gone altogether now. Oh well.
No, obviously technical. I don't know what it's like on my phone because I've never done it on phone. I always do.
I did once at the hotel, and I can't tell you what it's like because
yeah,
I was very free sheets for the win. So
yeah.
Come on, Curious Goose, you get in here and we'll get you some more subscribers. Come on, mate. You got to overtake
Goosey.
Rhythmic now.
Yeah, I'm already subscribed, Goose. So why does it help?
Quick visit, yeah, that'd be fine, Grumbly.
Yeah. No, as Paul said earlier about the Lex Motos, they have come a long way since the, first came out. Because I know originally they were a bag of nails, but now they're
Years
the
ago,
build quality is better.
When I was teaching, working at the riding school years ago,
Yeah,
when the Lex Motos first came out, the boss there decided to buy 4 Lex Motos for use as CVT bikes.
yeah,
And if you've ever worked at a riding school, you know them bikes get dropped regularly.
yeah,
And the first time one hit the floor, nearly everything fell off of it. It was or broke. It was like,
yeah,
oh bloody hell, this is going to be expensive. But what I did, because I used to do a little bit of the maintenance and stuff for him, so what I did was I replaced all the parts because they were almost an exact copy of a Honda CB 125.
yeah,
These Lex motors to start with. So when we needed replacement parts for them, I used to order the Honda parts for it to go on them, and they lasted a lot longer and they fitted.
yeah,
And there was only a couple of parts you had to do the little bits like gear levers and things. You had a little bit of fettling with them, but they did fit and they lasted longer. It's all right, Simon. No worries, mate. You tried.
yeah. Don't worry,
Simon. But they were real bags of shit back then when they first came in. Like I say, they were all carburetted as well.
Yeah,
They all came crated up, and we built them all and put everything in and done everything else. And then we ended up taking them up to a motorcycle shop to have all the carburetors balanced on them because they just would not run. They would not run. Curious Goose is cooking. Everybody, what do you want? And here is Mr. Crumbly Mal.
Here's Mal. Hello.
MTV.
I'm waving Crumbly. It's just that I've got no camera on. I'm sat here waving and I realise I've got no camera on because it's too dark. Literally, you can't see it.
Then? Is he not coming on?
The MT.
No, Curious Goose.
Curious Goose. No, it looks like he's busy cooking. So I don't know what he's cooking, but he's got to make enough for everybody.
Well, might be a chance to learn something there then.
He could give us a cooking lesson, couldn't he, on camera?
Yeah.
So how's your bike?
What's her name? What's her name that does it with the
Delia Smith.
No, younger than her.
Oh right.
Oh damn.
It's the first name that popped in my head. I'm showing my age now.
Mm.
Oh Jesus, I can't remember her name now. That dark hair and all the big this, that, and the others, you know.
Yeah.
The only one I can think of is Charlie Dimmock.
Charlie Dimmock.
She was a gardener, weren't she? She weren't a cook.
Yeah, I know. No, it's not Delia Smith. Who is it? Nigella Lawson.
That's the one.
Nigella Lawson.
Yeah, Nigella.
Yeah. She's a salty cook, isn't she?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very suggestive.
This is crazy dad bike. Sarah just mentioned it as well.
Yeah. Because you were heard the news about the hairy bikers.
No, one of them's ill.
Dave, not Cy.
Yeah.
Cy had the brain thing. Oh, what was it?
It's the dark hair one, isn't it?
It's one with the glasses, Dave.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, he's having chemo at the minute. He's got cancer. He's now known as the bold biker, not the hairy biker.
Oh, bless him.
Oh, Christ. Hope it goes well for him. Well,
Dave Myers. Because it's Cy King and Dave Myers. And it's Dave Myers is the one with the glasses. He's the one who.
He had it before, didn't he? Did he not have it before?
No, Cy had the brain injury, didn't he?
Was it Simon who had the? Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, and they both went on a diet because he got diagnosed with diabetes and had the brain aneurysm.
Right. Okay.
He had a bleed on the brain. That was it. I can't remember.
Right.
I can't think of the proper name.
That's dodgy, that, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's why they lost a load of weight, both of them and everything, because of that. And then, like I say, Dave came out the other week saying he got cancer, and luckily enough, they caught it early, bit sounds on it, so they're having chemo out at the moment. And he's lost all his hair, obviously, because of the chemo.
Yeah.
Well, apparently he's doing well, what I've heard.
Good.
Good, I hope he pulls through.
Oh, yeah. I think they've caught it at the early stages, so I think that's the bonus thing, you know. That's it. The debut of the Baldy Biker getting told off by his wife because he's done if you go on the Hairy Biker's Facebook page, he's done a video on there with an update, basically.
Oh, right.
Okay. Yeah, they haven't been on telly for a bit, have they?
No, they keep doing repeats. You see the repeats every now and then because I love their cookbooks.
I got one of them.
I've got quite a few of their cookbooks, and they're absolutely fantastic because if you follow their recipes, it turns out exactly how it looks in the book. You know.
Yeah.
There's none of the. They speak in plain English. It's not chefy talk. You know. It's like boil your spuds and not saute them or whatever they call it. You know.
Yeah, no posh words for boiling. We're just going to say boil it. Yeah.
Boil it, yeah.
Boil it, bash it, grill it, fry it, bake it. There you go.
Yeah, none of this sous vide and fucking...
Don't fry it or saute or...
yeah, none of this...
Flambe it. No, set fire to it.
Yeah, none of that bloody rubbish. It's bloody all plain English. So... Well, that's why I like their cookbooks because it's all plain bloody English and they're easy to follow. Yeah, I think they're right.
It's a bit late for Goose to be cooking, isn't it? Christ, what's the time?
Depends what shift he works.
Oh yeah, there is that.
Oh right.
To be honest,
I suppose it could be lunchtime. I suppose working nights or something.
Yeah, because it's like I used to have me when I did a night time patrol on security. I used to have my dinner as my breakfast. Yeah, because you're working from 6 at night till 6 in the morning. So when I got home, I was sat down having my dinner while everybody was having the breakfast.
How long did you do nights for?
That was constantly.
Really?
I did it for about 8 months and then quit it because it's like.
Yeah, I tried it, but I didn't stick it that long.
No, it screws your body clock up, and you're trying to get to sleep when it's bright bloody daylight outside and that, and people are making noise, and you wake up and you just feel knackered. Yeah,
I used to like finishing my night shift, coming home in the morning, getting a newspaper from the shop, sitting in the garden in the summer, reading the newspaper and opening a can of the beer, and the neighbours going, oh, "It's only 7 o'clock in the morning." I was like, actually, no. To me, it's like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Work.
Well, I'll tell you, it screws your body clock up though when you're flicking from nights to days. No, because it's like, one weekend they could be on days, and the next weekend they could be working nights, and it just screws your body clock up. Yeah,
it's not good for you.
No,
I mean, Christ, some of the guys we work nights with look terrible because they've been doing it years,
Experimental spicy noodles. Curious Goose is cooking.
Oh,
I hope you got the bog roll in the freezer. What's that? The
11 people watching and be in the room, so we'll have 14 bowls of that. Cheers, Goose. Good night, Simon. Take care, buddy. I hope things get better for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope you got your bog roll in the freezer. So I apologise for not being on camera. Like I say, the lights are all off. So
can't you turn them on then?
No, I've got the grandkids staying.
Oh, so right. Okay. Yeah.
So they're all snoozing.
Yeah.
Because Tina sort of woke up and asked her permission.
Do is wake them up this time of night.
Yeah.
I
thought you were. But you just woken up and didn't realise you were nodding off duck. So I'm getting told off.
You're not waking your missus up, are you? Jeez.
No, she was nodding off, and apparently I woke her up when I asked her. Well, when I asked her if I could join Simon on the live and go on mic. So the only instruction I got was to be quiet. So.
Do you ever fall asleep in the chair in the evening and then wake up feeling bloody awful because you've actually been to sleep?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I did that yesterday. Christ.
Yeah, I did.
Funny enough, I had a nap this afternoon. Don't ask me what happened. I ate half a tube of Smarties, and I think there was too many blue ones in there. I went and sat in the living room. Put the telly on. The next thing I know, I'm shaking myself because I woke. You know, as you fall asleep and you suddenly move, you're like, "Wah!"
Yeah.
All right, time for coffee.
I did that last night. Crumbly. Sat there watching telly about 7 o'clock, and I must have nodded off for an hour and woke up at 8 and felt like crap for the rest of the night.
It's like a hangover, isn't it? It's just bloody
awful.
Yeah. I hate it when I do that.
Yeah.
It's happening more and more these days.
Yeah. Well.
We need more and more naps the older we get, I think.
No. Well, I've got sleep apnea, so if I don't use my so if I don't use my CPAP machine, I just randomly fall asleep.
Can you actually fall asleep standing up or something, or drop down or something?
No, I just feel myself going. From.
Right.
I just suddenly feel knackered, and it's like I've got to go to sleep. But I've got a CPAP machine anyway, so.
What does that do then?
It pumps air into you, because what it is, sleep apnea
is it lack of oxygen or something?
Well, what happens is I stop breathing in my sleep.
Yeah.
So, and Tina gets the pillow out and puts it over my head. But what the CPAP machine is, it's like a positive air pressure. So you put the mask on and it builds up in stages. Because otherwise, if it comes on straight away, you sort of start gasping for air because it's like so bloody powerful. And it's like you've got like 19 psi of like air just constantly being pushed into you. Near enough.
What, through a mask or something?
Yeah, through a full face mask. You know what you strap onto your head.
The whole jobbing.
Well, it doesn't cover your eyes up. It goes over your nose and your mouth. You can get it just for your nose.
Yeah.
And you strap it. You strap it onto your head. And you connect this long pipe to it, because I've got a humidifier on mine as well, because otherwise I get a dry mouth. And it gradually builds up pressure, air pressure, as you go into sleep. And then you sort of, when you wake up in the morning, it's on full air pressure. They're very quiet nowadays, because they used to be noisy bloody things, but nowadays they're very, very quiet. Right. And it basically, it stops me from stopping breathing. Because apparently, luckily enough, Tina recorded me one night, because when I went to see the specialist, she took the recording with us. And what happens is I'll be snoring. I start snoring really badly.
Yeah.
Then I just go very, very quiet. And when I go quiet, I've stopped breathing.
Yeah, it's almost like you forgot to breathe.
Yeah, then I'll start gagging and grunting. And I start snoring again. And the problem is you don't get a proper night's sleep. You don't get REM sleep. Because your body is basically, you don't get a proper night's sleep because your body is sort of not shutting down fully. Yeah. Because you stop breathing. And you get into the cycle of it. And I was doing it about what?
8 times per hour.
8 times per hour I was stopping breathing.
Well, that can't be good, can it?
No, it's not good for you.
No.
And that doesn't help with with depression and your mental health. Because you're not getting a proper night's sleep because of it. So
So as long as you ain't going to start falling asleep going along on the bike, it's all right, I suppose.
Yeah, well, that's the only reason why I realised I got it, is because you feel knackered all the time, and you just nod off.
Yeah, if you don't get sleep,
because you're not getting a proper night's sleep. I'm probably getting the equivalent of about a 2 hours sleep without the mask, because of my brain not shutting down fully. It's very. Yeah, it is a bit of a killer, lack of oxygen. Crazy it is.
Yeah,
It can actually cause death. There has been cases where people have died because of it.
Which you stop
Yeah.
breathing for so long that
Yeah,
you shut down altogether.
yeah. It's just a very weird condition, but it's because even when the doctor looked at me, he went, "Yeah, you've got sleep apnea," because he could tell by my jawline and my neck and that, and like. As soon as Tina played that recording and he was listening to the doctor recording, he went, "Yeah, that's sleep apnea." So they monitored me for 24 hours. I had to wear a monitor. And they stick that monitor and they get, they process the results. And that's when they came back and told me I was stopping breathing 8 times a night. 8 times an hour, sorry, not 8 times an hour, 8 times an hour. And that's how they worked it out. Oh, yeah.
8 times an hour?
Yeah, well, my brother, he had it. He was, 20 odd times an hour? He was stopped, but he runs in the family.
So he was like more not breathing than he was breathing, really, then?
Yeah, yeah. But it's only because of his diagnosis, and I was talking to him about it, and he went, "You want to go and get yourself checked?" So I went and spoke to the docs and did this test thing you do. And, well, it wasn't just Mick, it was you as well because of Mick. Yeah, because Tina read up on it and that. And we did this thing where it like asked you these questions, and it was like, bloody hell, I've got
9 out of 10.
Yeah, 9 out of 10 I had. So I spoke to the doctors about it, and he sent me to see the specialist. And that's when they monitored me and listened to the recordings what Tina had done, and went, "Yeah, you need a machine, mate." And that's when I got the machine. So
yeah, well, you've got to just keep using that now.
Yeah,
right.
At night time. So.
Yeah.
Eat right, lose weight, stop smoking, exercise, you'll get in the right night. Well, yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I'll give you good news. I've got to go through because I've got a mild form of COPD. So I've got to go and see the nurse on Monday. So I'm going to have a word with her about quitting smoking because I'm smoking too much.
That's got to help. But, it's not a good thing to do, is it?
No.
These are my cigarette.
What's that? Milk and magnesium?
Nicotine gum.
Nicorette. No, it's lozenges.
Yeah, it's the lozenges. Oh, yeah. So I'm going to have a word with her.
You can get patches and lozenges and, even the vape.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem with finding with the patches is difficult to light.
And they leave burn marks on your arms.
Yeah.
They're really hard to smoke, yeah.
Yeah, they are. Tell you, it's tough to suck on, I tell you. But no, I've done it in the past.
What about vaping, though, MT? What about vaping?
No.
Have you tried it?
Down that line. No. Won't go down that line. Don't like the factor of there's too many chemicals in them.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, I've tried it before with vapes, and then I started reading the ingredients, and I thought, no, I don't want to end up with popcorn lung. Yeah, with vaping.
What's Champix then?
Champix is a tablet you can get subscribed from your doctor. And what you do is you start taking it for a week while you're still smoking. Then eventually what you do is you stop smoking, and the Champix actually cuts the neurointerceptors that say, yeah, I need a cigarette.
I stopped smoking then.
But I tried them, and what they did, they inflamed all my sinuses.
Yeah.
I ended up really bad sinus pain with them when I tried the Champix. It didn't work. But I do smoke sometimes now. Normally when I'm at work or when I'm out, but when I'm at home, I don't smoke at all. And what I do is I have these lozenges and I just take them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they work
much better. Yeah.
Do you not smoke at all now, then, Simon?
No, I smoke while I'm at work.
Oh, right.
That's
is it a stress reliever or something then?
Yeah, it's a stress reliever, and it's an excuse to actually leave the workplace, go and have a cigarette, and it's part of that social habit I haven't been able to break.
Yeah,
I tried and I managed it for 2 years, but then I succumbed, and I thought, right, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to smoke while I'm at work, but that's it. And when I go out, Matty, I tell you, when I was up at Super Sausage, I'll have a cigarette up there when I'm out on the bike going out with the lads. But when I'm at home, and I did 2 weeks in Cornwall last year. I did a week down there with Tracy this year. I'll go on holiday for a fortnight somewhere and I won't smoke at all.
It's the stress thing, isn't it?
It's literally when I go back to work, I have a cigarette.
Yeah.
It's like Crazy Dad's put there most of the ingredients in vape juice is just everyday food. It is now, but when they first came out, they were full of all sorts of crap. It's because they regulated them now.
Yeah.
Because you shouldn't be able to buy any with any flavourings in them because they banned flavoured tobacco and flavoured vapes. But the problem is they're okay if the ingredients is just water and nicotine. But when they first came out, they were slinging all sorts of like oils and crap into them.
They got all sorts of flavours and smells to them, haven't they?
Well, the government banned flavoured tobacco and flavoured vapes because of that reason. Because of, there's... Can you still get flavoured vapes? I thought they banned it.
You can, I think you can.
I thought they banned it.
Well, I'll find out if you start quitting one.
Well, yeah.
One going out.
Yeah,
but the thing is, if I did that love review, I'd end up going out and buying another packet and going on. That's my problem. Anyway, cigarettes. A pack of cigarettes in this country now cost what, £11-12, which is about $15-16.
Yeah.
I don't think I knew of them. They were £8 a packet or something.
Well, the weird thing is they can buy it. Oh, right. I thought they banned them. I know they banned flavoured tobacco because I used to. I've got a pipe, and I enjoy a pipe every now and then. So I used to have like black cherry flavoured tobacco for my pipe. But I don't use that much nowadays, anyway.
Do you know I haven't seen anybody smoking a pipe outside for must be years now.
Nah.
You used to see all the old boys with them, didn't they?
Yeah.
One of the guys in our bike group, he smokes a pipe, and I'll tell you what, he's fucking annoying with it. He's always tapping it everywhere.
Yeah, that's it.
It's weird. It's like, I've got a box of King Edward cigars, and I'll have to go outside and smoke them because Tina can't stand the smell of them. It's like I've got a pipe, and it was one of those things. We've got a really nice specialist shop in Nottingham what does tobacco and wines and whiskies downstairs and brandies.
Yeah.
And and I tell you what, I bought, when me and Tina got married, I bought my stepdad a bottle of whiskey from there. It costs about £100 for a bottle of whiskey because of its age and that. And what was it, 75 for the brandy for your mum? Yeah.
Good stuff.
It's one of these shops you walk into it and the smell of it's gorgeous. And you go downstairs where all the wines, whiskies and brandies are, and that it smells lovely. And they got pipes downstairs in the racks. And I stood there looking at them and I thought, I'm going to get myself one. Yeah, so I bought myself one, walked upstairs and picked this black cherry tobacco for it and that. And I'll tell you what, every now and then I'll use it every now and then. And it's it's quite nice because I tend to find if I have a pipe, I don't smoke near enough straight away, It's like it'll be about an hour or two before I'll have another fag or something, rather than chain smoking.
Yeah.
But that's one thing I want to give up, so I'm going to go for that next week. I'm in the mindset of I want to quit smoking, so.
Good man.
It's got to be good to do that if you can.
Yeah. So that's like, because I'm going for my COPD check, I'm going to have a word with them while I'm there and get everything on prescription, rather than forking out for it over the counter.
Yeah.
So, because I prepayment, I'm on prepayment, pay direct debit each month.
Yeah.
So, because it's cheaper because the amount of tablets I'm on already anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like, it's so much cheaper than paying for each prescription item,
I'm sure the price of prescriptions these days,
Yeah. Well, I'm on 4 lots of tablets a day.
6.
6, is it?
Bloody hell.
Crikey, you don't even know how many he's on. He forgot to take the ones from memory.
Do you know what? I do that actually. I do forget sometimes that I'm taking them. What am I on?
So you had high blood pressure,
Yeah, 2 high blood pressure.
omeprazole,
Lamoxazole,
whichever one that is.
yeah, the for my stomach. Yeah,
Antidepressant.
yeah, antidepressant, yeah. Then it's me asthma pump thing. That's the
Which
5th
one are you
one,
on,
and then my
MT?
vitamin D. What?
Which antidepressant you on?
Metzapine. Take it out at night time. It's meant to knock me out, but it doesn't. It's not working at the minute with that side of it, the insomnia side.
Yeah. I take mine in the morning, so.
Yeah, no, this one's designed to try and
help you sleep or something.
It's designed to. One of its so-called side effects is it's meant to knock you out, and it's not working again at the moment. So they'll probably have to alter my dosage because that's what they keep doing. Because I seem to get you. It's weird that I build up a tolerance to it.
Right.
You know,
well, yeah, I suppose you would do.
You know, yeah. Especially when you're taking it every day. It's one of those what, you know. It's I've built up a bit of a resistance to it again. So normally what to do is lower my dosage for a couple of weeks and then whack me back up to the high dosage again, and it weans me off of it a bit and then it knocks me out again. So. Well, sorry, side chat. I'm waffling on about it.
You're right, mate. You carry on. You know you're more than welcome. You want to go? You want to?
If they're not
working, waffle on and talk, you go for it.
Get Mrs. MT to get a big mallet and hit you on the head before it's.
Oh, she don't need to give her permission to do that. She'll do it anyway. Did you say that? I've got to give you a big mallet to whack me on the head to knock me out.
If the pills won't work, this will.
Yeah, it won't work.
What if you get to blow over the face,
yeah, it's just fun, you know, because it was interesting listening to everybody, you know, like I say, Red Bomb did his thing and that. It's like, I lost my dad in 95.
Yeah.
He was only 45, my dad was, when he passed away.
So you weren't all that old then?
No. But the worst thing was I fell out with him 2 weeks before he passed away, and then I never had the chance to make it up to him.
Yeah.
Which is screws me over now to this day.
Yeah.
And then my mum got remarried to Gerald, who's then my stepdad. And I was suffering with depression at the time after my dad passed away, and Gerald helped me get out of it.
Yeah.
And I also got myself a dog called Freddie. He was 20 years old when we ended up having him put down because of his age. So he helped me get myself back on, up and running again. And then I lost. Gerald passed away in 2018. And as we sort of all getting over the factor of Gerald passing away in 2018, start of 2019, we found out my brother had got terminal cancer. So, and he turned 50 in January, my brother did. So by the end of 2019, November, my brother passed away in 2019. And guess what else then hit, didn't it? Lockdown. Went into pandemic and everything. So, so my mental health has been a bit screwed up. Yeah, because of it. Yeah. It's like I say, we're just getting over losing my stepdad and everything in 2018. And then at the start of 2019, well, at the end of 2018, our Mick weren't feeling right over Christmas. My brother wasn't. And he kept going dizzy and wobbly. So he went to the doctors, obviously, in the new year. And they found out it was anemic, weren't it? And his blood count was down. He needed an emergency blood transfusion. And when they did that, that's when they found out he got this stomach cancer, and it was stage 4 stomach cancer, which was terminal. And at the time, it was only given about 3 months to live. But he didn't tell us that.
Really?
And no, he didn't tell us that. And he went in for the chemo, and it was the chemo what kept him alive. Because as soon as the chemo stopped in September, he went rapidly downhill.
Yeah.
You know. And,
it's a strange one. Sometimes it works and sometimes it just doesn't.
Yeah. No, it wasn't working on my brother.
No.
You know, it put it. You know, it held it off for a bit. You know, and just give him that extra few months.
It's so frustrating, isn't it? I mean, it's been so many years that they've been battling with that, and they don't seem to have made
no. And the thing is I went to every hospital appointment with him, and I went to every chemo session with him, and because they tried giving him it over 2 hours, the chemo, and he felt very ill, so they had to give him it over 8 hours. So we spent the whole day at the hospital.
Oh, like a lower dose.
No, same dosage, but over a longer period of time.
Wow. Yeah.
Because of how it was affecting him. So I ended up spending like 8 hours at the hospital running around for him, getting him food, drinks while he was hooked up having chemo.
Mm.
You know, then I'd run him home in the evening, and he'd always treat me to a Calverton kebab, because the chip shop in Calverton does a lovely kebab, and you know, he'd always treat me to one of them. And then I'd come home, and I was knackered for the weekend, you know, because it drains you out.
Well, mentally and physically, really.
It just knackers you out, being sat in a hospital all bloody day long for 8 hours.
Yeah.
You know, and just looking at my brother with his tubes wide, you know, him wide up, and every now and then he'd have a funny turn, and I'd have to walk out, and you know, the nurses had to deal with me because I cracked up a couple of times.
Yeah.
Because of the effects it was having on him.
Yeah.
And that. So I've got a nurse dealing with me. The nurses are dealing with them. I'm apologising to the nurses for cracking up, and they're going, no, it's understandable. You know, we know why. You know, and that lot. And they had a thing at Nottingham called Maggie's, which I went to see them to get support and a bit of counselling with as well, which was fantastic. And like I say, he just rapidly went downhill, my brother did. But it was like just getting over one loss in the family.
Got to be the hardest thing to see, really, isn't it? I mean,
yeah, it is, seeing your own brother going from,
you
know, playing with my kids, joker of the family, having a joke with the kids and that, and then just see him going, you know,
downhill, literally fading away.
Just literally, yeah. And we went to see him on the Saturday. And I weren't going to go and see him on the Sunday. And I got a phone call Sunday morning off my mum. Sorry, Monday morning off my mum saying he'd gone. She'd got the urgent call to get over there. And luckily enough, she was there when he passed. But there was no bit time I got there, he'd have gone anyway.
Yeah.
But he passed on the Monday morning. But at least I got to say goodbye to him on the Saturday. So. Yeah. So, but like I say, and it's like at the moment he bought me it's a flower called amethyst in snow, and he bought Tina an aloe vera plant because he was treating us all because he knew he hadn't got long to live.
Okay.
And he was taking the kids out and everything, doing everything he could with my 2 kids. Yeah. And then he bought me this plant called amethyst snow, and it's funny, it's growing. I didn't realise it was a yearly plant. I thought it was a one-off thing.
Yeah.
Because he had a thing for purple, my brother did.
All right.
Because he got a pacemaker. He was diabetic and he got a pacemaker. So he always said he got a purple heart. Well, I planted this plant into a tub in the back garden, and every year it flowers. You know, and it's coming into flower again now. I just looked out the window today, and it's starting to, you know.
It's nice. It's nice that it keeps coming back, isn't it?
Oh yeah, because it's a little reminder of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like while we were visiting him in the hospital on the Saturday, a robin came and sat on the bird table near his room. A robin did, and when we we had his funeral, and when we were putting the ashes into the ground, a frigging robin appeared. You know, and was following us around because I went up to see my dad because he's in the same graveyard as my dad.
Yeah.
So I went up to see my dad, and this bloody robin was following. Well, my dad and Gerald. This bloody robin was following us up the bloody graveyard. So now next to his gravestone, he's got 2 robins sat there because of that reason.
Nice. Yeah.
You know, so. Well, yeah. Sorry, I'm waffling on.
No, you
Not
carry
at all.
on. You carry on.
No.
Well,
It's,
that's why I'm like I am with my mental health. You know.
yeah. It's a devastating thing. It's a devastating illness for the person who's got it and for the family around them.
Yeah.
I mean, my own mental health. I've been clear of tablets and everything for a good 2.5 years now.
Clear.
I took, I went to see the doctor and everything else. They put me on strong antidepressants, etc., etc. And especially after what happened just over 3 years ago, and I was taking these tablets, but I didn't feel like I was myself.
Yeah.
I felt I was being suppressed.
Okay.
And other people noticed that they kept asking me if I was okay because you're not your normal self, and you know, so
Sort of like flattened you out, kind of thing.
yeah, completely monotone.
Yeah.
So I took they were on restricted, etc., doctors, and I just went, you know what, I'm not doing it. I hit that point where you get right. I'm going to stop because I know what I am. I know what I'm like, and I know what I'm capable of.
Yeah.
I internally, mentally challenge myself to see how I need to be, and I managed to get there. I still have it down, mate, but
Were you on one of those ones that are kind of like addictive then, Simon?
yeah,
One of them strong ones, yeah.
yeah. They put me on the ones, and I can't remember what they were called now. It was so long ago, but they put me on these tablets, and they said if you ever got to stop these, we've got to wean you off them.
Yeah.
And I went, right, okay. And I just stopped them. I said, no, I'm doing this my way. I'm doing this my way. I actually decided, it was a bit of a revelation, a bit of an epiphany moment. I said, right, I'm going to take control of me. I'm going to do what I want. And that's the way I've always been all my life. I've always done what I've wanted to do. People told me, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. I said, you want to bet? I'll do it and take pictures. You know, that's the sort of person I always was. You tell me I can't do it. Actually, I can. Look, I probably got into trouble too much when I was a kid, but yeah, I'm just mentally, I just took over myself, and I said, right, I'm going to do it. This is me, and I'm going to be me, and yeah.
Well,
I can't explain how it happened, but it was like an epiphany one day. It was just like, right, okay, this is what I need to be. I need to be.
You just thought, I've had enough of this, and
Yeah. And there's people telling me to do this, people telling me to do that. And I'm the sort of personality. If people keep telling me to do something, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stick my heels in, whether it's good for me or not. I was like, just shut up, leave me alone. And yeah, I'm a very independent sort of person like that, and that's always been the way I was.
Yeah.
And actually, more motorcycling helped. I'll tell you what it did. I went out for long rides, and I got on my bike. And when you're on your bike, you throw your leg over that big machine and you start riding. Nothing matters.
No.
You're in that moment.
Yeah.
And that's what I look forward to every day. I mean, I ride 60 odd miles to and from work every day.
And when you got at the end of it, when you get off, you really feel good, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Huh? Yeah.
And so yeah, I just took my my life into my own hands, if you like. And not everybody can do that, because not everybody is capable. I've always been a strong person mentally anyway, where I never showed emotions, but now I show emotions. That's something I have learned, that I've got to show my emotions. My wife Tracy, if you ever speak to her, you'll think she's a pretty hard-nosed bitch at times, and you know, nothing ever matters to her. But I know the real Tracy. I know between me and her, she is very soft and falls apart easily, and she does it with me a lot. And we do that with each other. And she's also one of the reasons why I am where I am today, because we are each other's. You know, we help each other along these lines.
Well, they say that sort of like letting emotions out is good for you, isn't it? So they say, you know, even down to crying sort of thing, you know, they quite
I'll
good.
tell you, you'll laugh at me because some films, I'll be sat there watching some films and I'll start bawling my eyes out. And my missus is looking at me going, what the hell's up with you? You know, and it's a film, It's like,
Yeah.
It's,
That's
I'm
something that
terrible
does
with that.
happen to me. That there are some films I will shed a tear at, and Tracy
Yeah.
go, "Are you crying at this?" I go, "No,
No.
No, yeah.
don't be daft. I'm a big roughy toughy biker."
But it's true. Simon Brackett made a comment earlier about somebody made a comment. I think it might have been Simon Brackett. But it's weird. It's like when my brother passed, you know, the whole of all the family comes together as they do at a funeral. You know, it's the only time we see each other is birth, deaths, and bloody marriages. You know, sorry, christenings.
No, we're not religious.
And it's weird to go, oh yeah, we'll keep in contact with you, keep in contact. Yeah, there's only one person who's kept in contact with me, and that's my uncle, one of my uncles on my dad's side. He's the only one alive. He rings me up and down and see how I am. I can't talk about things to my mum because my mum's suffering herself over the loss of a second husband and a son. So she's having counselling.
Yeah.
So it's like, but it's like the rest of the family. Not one of them's rang me up.
Well,
You know, they
a
don't.
lot of people are sort of like full of good intentions at the moment they say it. But
Yeah.
really,
Well,
it's not what they want to do, you know?
You know, so actually
They kind
finding
of
people
almost like say what they feel like you should be saying.
saying, and don't follow it through.
Yeah.
And it's this is where you guys have helped me a lot because it gives me a channel to chat to people about it, you know, and get it out there and that. Because otherwise, I'll be just sat here with nobody to chat to apart from the missus, you know, and I don't want to keep dumping on her on a daily basis.
No.
You know what I mean? No. So, good night, Goose.
Well, and it's your partner that bears the brunt too, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, when you're down.
Yeah.
They're the ones who are sort of there with you all the time, really.
Yeah, and she sees me on my bad days, you know, and like people go, oh, there's no wrong with me and all this lot. It's like, you know, there's no wrong with me and all this lot, but they don't see me when I'm down. They don't see how long it takes me to get out the house. They don't hear me retching and trying not to be sick, you know, when I try and get out the house. They don't hear all of that. They don't see all of that.
No.
You know, and it's just when they see me, they think, you know, oh, he's all right. And that's because what they don't realise is probably taking me 2 hours to get out the bloody front door.
And getting the right mindset, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like how I was saying with the anxiety earlier. I totally understood where he came from with that.
Oh, yeah, me too. Yeah, I could relate to that one.
You know, because I was meant to be going to pick the grandkids up today. And luckily enough, my daughter says, oh, don't worry, we're bringing them. She got one of her friends to bring them over. You know, and that was just meant to go and pick my grandkids up. And I was starting to have an anxiety attack and a bit of a panic attack before I even got in the bloody car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is why some days I struggle to get out on the bike.
Yeah.
You know, because I'll start having an attack before I get out on the bloody bike, but I'll eventually talk myself into it.
Yeah, if you can push through that and get out. That's.
I've learnt now to have an argument with myself, and it makes Tina laugh because I'll be walking around going, "No, you can do it. You can get out. You can get out. Go and do it. You just get your boots on, get your stuff on, get on the bike. You can do it. You can do it." And then I did it, and the bloody battery was flat on the bike.
Got yourself all worked up and then got let down.
Yeah. And the bike fucking let me down. Excuse my language.
That ride wasn't meant to be, was it?
So I ended up jumping in the car. You know what I mean? It was like I ended up jumping in the bloody car to go over.
Well, the best way, really. Yeah, best thing to do, really. Get yourself out.
Yeah. I still went out. It's just that I went out with my biker jeans on rather than getting changed because I was fitting the screen to my mate's MT-09. So it was actually, I was quite handy because it got padding in the knees. I was quite pleased about it because I was, you know, I was on my knees most of the bloody time fiddling around with this chuffing thing. But the only, like I said, the only reason why I said the screen port, he's asked me to put the screen on is you can't see the display when the sun's on it.
What is it called? Is it Speedo Angels that do these sort of sticky things that go over screens to make them visible in the sun or something? Is it Speedo Angels?
I don't know.
I don't know. Somebody said I was watching something the other day about them. Yeah, mentioned.
Not heard of that.
But have you not?
Mm.
I think
I eat lots of salad.
TMF meant he's
Fresh
one of his
meat.
sponsors of Speedo Angels or something. I think that do
Yeah.
whatever they are. I don't know. I could be wrong there. But yeah. So the screen, what is it? A dark screen then he's put on or something?
Well, he's got the brightness whacked all the way up on it because the MT-09 is a naked bike, isn't it? And it's got a little poxy little fairing on the front of it.
That's right. Yeah.
And so he's got the brightness turned all the way up. And he's saying when he's riding, sometimes he cannot see the display. So he's got this larger screen, what comes up just over the display. And he's hoping, he says it seems better because he's been out on it a couple of times and he says it seems better.
Okay.
And just because it's that little bit bigger and just goes over the display, it's shielding it from the sun.
Yeah, you see, analog clocks, you know.
Yeah, I know. There's something to be said about them, isn't there? Rather than these LCD display. Well,
I can
LED
see
or
mine
LCD.
in the sunshine.
Yeah, that's same as me. I can. I've only
The
got
only
the one
time I
clock
can't
on
see
mine.
mine in the sunshine is when I get the glare off the glass. That's about the only time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Because
like
I've got analog clocks on mine as well. So.
Well, we don't get enough sun where I am, so that's never really an issue.
Where are you, Crumbly? Because I thought you was
Yeah.
up north somewhere.
I'm near Halifax.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, you are up north somewhere, aren't you?
Yeah. Sort of West Yorkshire, really, I suppose.
Yeah.
Border sort of thing.
Well,
we'll have to make a stopping on you when we go north.
Yeah, anytime. If I'm here, I'll put the kettle on. Yeah, sure.
Jolly
it's
good.
like
White 2 sugars, thank you.
yeah, it's like the Michigan, you know, it's only got the one display with a little LCD bit at the bottom of it, what tells you what your fuel is in your trip mileage.
Yeah.
Your mileage, you know.
So
and it's got the git. And the thing
well,
is,
the
it's
thing
got
is with these LCD screens, lots of things can happen to them. I was in, I went on a little tour and we ended up in Switzerland. And the temperature was over the 30s while we was there. And we went and we done the Rhine Falls and everything else. We've been and done all that. And when we got on the bike to leave, I said to my wife, I said, my LCD, because there's an LCD display that tells me the temperatures and tire pressures and all those sort of things.
Yeah.
The whole screen was blank.
Yeah.
I said to my wife, I said, the whole screen is blank on the LCD display. It tells me what gear I'm in and everything else. And really? I said, yeah, the whole lot has gone blank. It's completely blank.
Okay.
And as we're riding along, little dark bits keep appearing. And I'm like, I don't know what's happened, whether it's a plug that's come loose or something, but something's not working because it's not receiving information because it's not displaying anything.
Yeah.
It weren't until we've been riding for a while and obviously the air had cooled it down, the display started coming back. So had that had my Speedo and everything else in it, because I parked my bike right in the middle of the sun and the sun was shining straight down on it from the back of the bike, so that even the screen weren't protecting it, so it got full 35-degree heat that day. And eventually when we got to our destination, the whole lot had come back, and I said that was really weird, and the only thing I can put that down to was the whole display got that hot it just would not work.
Melted the crystals. Whatever they are.
Well, whatever's in an LCD display got too hot to work.
Yeah, it's like they got like, if it's like a telly, they got like little backlights, haven't they, and things that it's a weird sort of setup.
Yeah, but had my Speedo and everything else in it, I wouldn't have known how fast I was going or anything.
No.
Well, that's the thing on
and
that
you don't want to speed in
MT-09.
Switzerland because they'll pull you over and they'll take your bike off you at the side of the road.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. Really?
Like I say, on that MT-09, it's a full LED sort of display sort of thing, which
is that what you've got?
Have
you got an LED then?
No, on mine, it's just a single analog clock with a little, display at the bottom. Little LCD display. What tells you your fuel and your mile, your overall mileage and your trip mileage.
Yeah.
And then below that, you've got first, neutral, second, third, fourth, and fifth, all separate lights. There's a gear indicator on that bike.
Oh right, okay.
And that's the reason why I got that bike, because it tells it's got a gear indicator on it.
Yeah, I might get one for mine because I ain't got one.
Yeah, I do like that because it's convenient because you can just look down and
It is.
see, you know,
Yeah,
am I
'cause
in
I'm
neutral
always
or
searching for a
first?
6th gear, and it's annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the gear indicators. I never had one until I got this bike, and I never knew why I would need one.
Yeah.
It's only
No.
occasionally I was going down the motorway, I'll be looking for 7th gear.
Yeah.
you
That's
know,
right. Yeah.
on my previous bike, and I got one on this bike. I went, oh, it's pointless. I'm never going to use it. But I actually look at it quite a lot.
Yeah, you
Yes.
don't realise how much you're looking at
I
it.
don't
Yeah.
realise. I was riding down the motorway one day, and I thought, oh, the bike feels a bit lively, and I looked down. It's because I was still in 5th, not 6th. So
Yeah.
On yours, I mean, you wouldn't know, would you? Really? Because I mean, it just.
I know she just accelerates and slows down a bit quicker in 5th than she does in 6th, because 6th gears on mine's an overdrive.
Yeah.
So you put her in that, and she'll just sit and cruise, and she'll sit still. You know, that's why I can get nearly 50 to the gallon. So.
Do you have a quick shifter on yours, Simon? Has it got a quick shifter?
No.
Did the newer ones have?
No.
They or not?
The ZZR can get one.
Oh, right. Okay.
But the GTR, the Concourse 1400, I don't believe it ever came with a quick shifter. Because even though it's a super sport tourer, it's not a.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I know that S1000, what my brother had, that got a quick shift on it. Yeah.
Never ridden a bike one of them.
Yeah. That got a quick.
I know Andy's GSA tractor. His GSA, that's got one, and that's the weirdest thing I've ever ridden with. Is an adventure bike with a quick shifter on it.
Is it?
Yeah.
It was weird. It was really, really crappy pulling away, trying to get it into 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah.
But in all the other gears, going up or down, it was fine. It was only when you was going slow. It didn't want to. It was only when you was going slow, and I can only attribute that to the Boxer engine and the fact it's a twin, so you need the revs quite high to do everything. And I ride an inline flat 4, which you don't need the revs high to do anything. You can do everything at 1,000 RPM. It really don't make no difference to it. So that's the only thing I can attribute that to it. I'm sure you'd get used to it, but it's not that. That wasn't for me. So, yeah, I've been that one. Yeah, the GTR is just a lovely cruising machine. Love Review's got a Concourse 1400, which is the American version, and yeah, they are just really a smooth. The engine is so smooth, but if you want to open her up,
why aren't they? Because they got such a big engine, and nobody's going to thrash one, are they? Not really.
You can only thrash one in 1st gear, because if you hit the limiter in 2nd gear, you're going over 90 mile an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
So 1st gear is up to about 60
they're
miles an hour.
They're good buy price wise these days as well, aren't they? You can get a reasonable one.
You can pick up I know somebody that's selling the 2016 GTR 1400. Really low mileage, it's about 20,000 miles on it, so 6 years old and 20-odd thousand miles, and £7,000.
Yeah,
and that is a lot of bike for that money.
Yeah, it is. It is incredible.
I don't use. Yes, I have actually got the saddlebag liners. I have got them. I haven't got the top box liner because I've got a different top box on it. I'll put a 56 litre rather than the 47 or 46 that's standard. But I think they're worth it. I think they're worth it. I don't think they're worth $77. If you look on eBay, you'll probably find some a lot cheaper. But the saddlebags I used, or the inner bags, the liners, actually came off my Kawasaki Versys 1000, and the bags are almost the same size. So that's what I use.
I suppose liners are worth having, aren't they? Because they stop things.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Before I had bag liners, I'd use fill the bags up and then take the cases off to take them up to the room because it's just full of clothing.
Funnily enough, that's what we did with our mix. When we went to Isle of Wight, that's what we did with that. He gave me one of his saddlebags off of it, you know, because they're hard case things. Shoved all my week's worth of clothing in that, sort of closed it up, and when we got to the hotel, we just took the bags off and just carried them up into the hotel and just left them in the rooms, you know.
Suitcases.
Yeah, like suitcases, because once they're, you know, because they just easily came on and off the bike. So there was like, you just sort of took it off and we just both walked one in with one each, you know, and just stuck them in the room, and then the rest of the while we didn't have the bags on the back of the bike, you know.
Have you still got them ones you bought, them soft ones?
Mine on in Michigan, yeah, I've still got them on there.
They're still all right then, yeah?
Oh, yeah, they're only, you know, well, Mrs. and kids got me for Christmas.
Yeah.
They're off Amazon, you know, they're only cheapo things.
I remember you saying, yeah, but they're
doing the job. They're still on it.
Yeah.
You know, in fact, it was that what saved me bloody foot. You know, when I came off my bike, the saddlebags. You know, that handguard saved the damage on the clutch. And
well, they've got to be pretty sturdy then, haven't they?
Yeah, and they took the weight of the bike and kept it off me. You know, kept the weight off me foot, because that's what he landed on, and it stopped any further damage to the bike. And so I was quite pleased about them. I was quite chuffed to put them on the bike.
Yeah.
You know, and they didn't take long to fit. They were easy enough to fit. So.
No, I've seen the thing where you fitted them. Yeah. Yeah, they looked all right, really. Then.
But I did put the extra cable ties on for my own peace of mind. You know, it was like I wasn't going to rely on the laces. You know, the lace. No. I thought, sod that. I'm going to put my own cable ties on and
belts and braces, something, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's just me. You know, I thought relying on a shoelace. You know, relying on a shoelace. No, stop that. I'll put a couple of cable ties on. So, but yeah, they're still on it. You know, normally they've got me waterproofs in and a bottle of water in them, and I've took the tools out from under the battery, what come with the bike, and shoved them in the saddlebag because it saves me having around.
And they're not too sort of big bulk-wise, like out sideways, are they?
No, they sit lovely on it.
Yeah.
You know, and like I say, they do the job for me. What, you know, it's all right for while I'm out and about and I need to pick something up. I've got something to put them in rather than, you know, because I had a backpack and it was a pain in the arse. Trying to put a backpack on when you got all your bike gear on is an absolute freaking, you know.
Yeah.
It's a dry bag thing. And they're a pain. More hassle than it's bloody worth. And then you've got the weight of everything on your back and everything while you're riding the bike, and it's like, no, I want saddlebags. Yeah.
I'm really not a fan of wearing a rucksack while riding a motorbike. Because in the event of an accident, it really acts as like a catapult, and it pulls you in and it's not a natural. Harm you. Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
And the thing is, if you go out in the backpack,
and I always think of that, you know, something happens and you got like even a gas thing or something like that on your back for coffee or something, it's going to hurt, isn't it?
Yeah. And I was about to say, whatever in your backpack, if you land on it, and if it's open metal or out, it's just going to impale you, you know, in your back.
It is. Yeah.
You know, so it was like, I want saddlebags. So, like I say, they got me in for Christmas and I fitted them to it, and I use them every time I go out. Yeah.
You're making me think there, actually. I might take a look at them. You know, because you could put your sort of camera or gizmos or anything else.
Yeah, well, that's what I do. I put my spare batteries in there, my tripod for my camera. Yeah. Like I say, I've got a bottle of water, my waterproofs in there.
Yeah.
You know, I've got the tools normally sit underneath the battery on the bike, but I've took them out of that and put them in the saddlebags.
Okay.
Yeah, because it saves having to take the the side panel off to get the toolkit, what comes with the bike.
Yeah.
So I put them in, and any other junk, I just shove them in the backpack, in the saddlebags.
Yeah.
You know, and normally all I've got in my pocket is my wallet, my tobacco, my lighter. My phone goes in the mobile phone holder I've got on the steering, on the handlebars.
Yeah.
You know, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm carrying the bare minimum on myself now. It's all in the saddlebags. Yeah.
I use this quite regularly.
Huh?
Yeah.
This is a little tank bag I use quite regularly.
How
And
does
in
that
there,
fit on?
I'll have my phones. Sorry,
How does it fit on?
magnetic.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. I use this, and in there, I've got me mobile phones. My wallet's in there. In the front is my keys because they're on a handy little lanyard, so they can't come off.
Oh, that's good.
I put those in there, and I use that quite regularly. And I do ride everywhere with me panniers on. If I'm going somewhere without my panniers on, I've got a large top box, and that'll hold my waterproofs and my bag and my lunch and everything else. It all goes in that,
Yeah.
and away I go. And I like having the tank bag from your wallet and phone and everything else because it's not in my pocket then. So if I do
So
have an
you keep sort
accident,
of all this business and trying to get it. Yeah. Yeah.
if I do have an accident or anything, I'm not going to squash a £1,400 phone and it's going to go through my ribs or something, you know. So
It's
Well,
something to think about, man.
that phone case I got off of Amazon, the Orca one, it's something like about 20 quid, but it's a solid waterproof case. You know, and it clips when you put your phone in it. It clips over it. It's got the rubber seals around it and everything. And my phone was actually in that when I came off the bike.
Okay.
And unlike a quad locker out like that, because it's in the case, there was no damage to my phone. You know,
Right.
it did the job. Because I don't like the look of the quad locks out like that because they're not waterproof. You're relying on getting a waterproof case for your phone, aren't you?
That's what I thought when I've looked at them. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I thought. So I had a look on eBay for stuff. It's like grandson's just steering. I was looking on eBay at waterproof phone holders, and that's what I spotted.
Right.
Was that thing? And it, I'll put a link up on my. If you look at my videos, there's a link for it.
Oh, I'll do that then because I wouldn't mind something like that for using it as a sat nav, not for anything else really.
Well, that's what I use mine for. Because I've got the drift on the head. I'll fire up the app. I'll fire up the app for the drift when I'm sat on the bike, so I can see what the camera angle is.
Okay.
I'll set it recording via my phone. I'll shut that app down and then fire up the Skwal app. The cardio app for the Bluetooth. On the helmet as well. Yeah. And then I just pop it into that phone holder. And if I need to use my phone as a sat nav, then I'll get the audio through the headset, on the bike.
Okay. So do you mount your camera? Is it on top of
your head? Yeah.
On top?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't go fast enough that I don't get the wind force to blow it off my head. Because that's why Simon and everybody else have it on the side is because of the, wind resistance can rip it off.
Oh, is that right?
Because that thing don't go fast enough. I've got mine mounted on top of my head.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I haven't mounted mine.
Mine's a fairly aerodynamic drift.
Yeah, that's
I've got one of them.
Ghost. Yeah.
Goes on the side.
How did you work out where to mount it on the side then, Simon, so that it's not getting most of your helmet?
Do you know what? This is a funny story. With the drift, you can pair it to your phone and you can see the live view.
Yeah.
Oh right. Okay.
So what I was doing, I was looking at the live view and moving it around until I got it to where I wanted it.
Yeah.
And I got the wife to make a little mark on my helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I peeled the sticker off and put it on.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, Mal. That's the same as me. Because mine's on my head. I use the GoPro type mounts where it just clips in and you can alter the angle on top of my head.
Okay, yeah.
So I'll get on the bike because sometimes it gets knocked by the cats because they're like sitting next to my helmet and they'll knock it, the camera. Yeah. So what I'll do is when I sit on the bike, I'll look at my phone because that's showing me what the camera's seeing. And then I can work out whether the angle's wrong. And if it is, then I can adjust the angle.
How did you get it paired to your phone outside then?
It's done by Wi-Fi on the drift. The drift's got its own Wi-Fi name.
When I've done that here and you do your search for your Wi-Fi for your drift.
Yeah.
it takes away your Wi-Fi at home and goes to drift, doesn't it?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what? So have you got Wi-Fi then, have you, or what?
No,
How
it's
does
just
it work?
Wi-Fi. It's just the
It's
Wi-Fi
connected
between
to your
the.
phone via Wi-Fi, but then your phone will switch over to 4G for whatever, and the camera is just connected via Wi-Fi.
Oh right, so that would only. Oh, so if you're doing it at home, then where you've got internet, it junks your actual internet and goes goes to the phone sort of thing, and
Yeah.
Yeah, because you've got the
entity.
Drift app, haven't you? You've got the Drift app. Where you
Yes,
connect
yes,
and you
Yeah.
do everything else, and you can see what
Yes.
you're doing.
yes.
Well, what you're doing is you are connecting your phone to the camera via a Wi-Fi. Your phone will come up and say there's no internet connection on this Wi-Fi, and you just ignore that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because that's the way you want to. That's how you want to connect it, and you can download on your phone and do all the bits and pieces you want to do.
Yeah.
Because I know on your phone you can go live, and the only way you can go live is by using your mobile data on your phone.
Yeah.
Because it won't connect to your house Wi-Fi because you're connected to the Wi-Fi on the Drift.
That's right.
So,
yeah.
Okay. But the cardios run on Bluetooth.
Yeah,
So
that's a separate thing, isn't it? Yeah.
So that's a separate thing altogether. So you can have your cardio on the Bluetooth and you go Drift on your Wi-Fi, and that's how you can have the two connected at the same time.
Yeah.
Because one's using one frequency and one's using a different frequency in effect.
Yeah.
So.
And what microphones do you use then?
I've got a cheapo microphone off Amazon, what cost me about 11 quid.
Oh, you got a Drift one, Simon? Yeah.
Mm.
I was looking at one of them tonight.
They're about $17.99 or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're about $17.99, I think they are, off the Drift website.
Yeah.
If you look on my videos, Crumbly, I've actually got the microphone as well linked, what I got off Amazon, what works with the Drift as well. And I can't remember how much it cost. It weren't that much.
No.
You know. And
they're not that have you got a dead cat on it or just sponge?
No, the way I just got a sponge on mine. Because the way I've got it is I've got the helmet on top of the thingy, and I've got some. This is the engineer in me, because I used to put undercar lights on my brother's car, so I've got these little square blocks what you can run cable ties through. So I run the cable down the back of the helmet with two of these square blocks on the helmet with the cable ties on it. Yeah. And because it's the Drift's a weird connector, it's not a 3.5mm jack. But in the kit you get with this microphone, you get the adapter. So I've got the adapter plugged in, then the 3.5mm jack going into the, I think it's something like 2.5mm or something weird on the Drift. Going into that, and then I've got a cable tie holder either side of that, so it stops it from pulling apart.
Yeah.
And then I've got another block a bit further down where the cable tie goes around it. And they're stuck on the back of the helmet, and then it runs in to the helmet, you know, tuck the lining out, and then I run it around, and it comes out on the right-hand side cheek pad. It's just under my right-hand side cheek pad is where the microphone is.
All right, okay. Because it's good sound. I mean, you know.
Yeah, so it's near my mouth.
Yeah.
But it's under the pad. You know, it sticks out a little bit under the pad near my mouth. And then on the other side, I've got the microphone for the cardio. So I've got the two mics either side, basically. And it's great fun when you pull up next to a car and you lift your helmet up and all what you can see is a boom mic coming out for the cardio. And they're like, look at you and think, is he a copper? You know, because and it's like, no, I'm not a copper, I'm 125, you know. But but that's how my setup is, you know. Like I say, I've got the cardio because I've got the original Scalar Rider cardio, which is before these cardio blacks and all these fancy dandy ones, because it was my brother's and it still works perfectly all right. I've got that on the left side of my helmet. I've got the camera on top of my head, and then, like I say, I've got the microphones either side. So, but like I say, I've got a cheap microphone off Amazon.
Yeah.
And that's what I use. It didn't cost me that much. But like I say, I've listed what I've got on and the links for them on my videos. If you have a look at my videos, you'll see what I use why it's there.
Yeah.
So, but like
Yeah,
I say, these little
Zed works and uses them purple pandas.
purple pandas, yeah,
Zed
but they are expensive.
Oh, they, yeah.
But like I say, these little blocks I've got, the like little black blocks with where you can run cable ties through them. The double-sided sticky pads on them, and they're designed to be used with cable ties, so they'll stick to my helmet. And they're made out of plastic, you know. They'll stick to the helmet, but it's just me with rather than having the cable just flapping around and hitting the back of my helmet because of the carabiner top on my head.
Yeah,
you know, it just holds them in place and stops them from flapping around in me.
And them sticky mounts for the cameras, then with that sticky back on it, that's strong enough to hold.
Yeah, well, I changed it because I've got this. I didn't like the sticky stuff what came with it, so I bought a roll of it's 3M double-sided tape, and the way it works is you put the tape on, leave it for 12 hours, then peel the backing off, and then stick the camera on top of it, and then leave it again for another 12 hours, and it's a bit like glue. The way it hardens and seals, and it's really good double-sided quality tape. You know, it's like I say, because you can't peel the backing off. If you try and peel the backing off of it, so you stuck it on there, the whole thing just comes off because it's got to sit on there for 12 hours.
Yeah, okay.
And once it's done, then mine's never budged. It's never budged on my head. So, but that's because I didn't like the double-sided tape what was already on the the mounts. Yeah,
is that what you use, Simon? Do you got the 3M one, or you just?
I use a 3M mount. It's I use a different one. It's pad.
Yeah.
Some people use Sugru, don't they, and stick them on. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. You probably can't see that, but that's the camera mount.
Yeah.
And it's a 3M pad that sticks to that, and then you peel off the other side and stick it to the.
Sticks to the helmet, yeah.
But I use exactly the same thing for me intercom.
Yeah.
And for 2 years, neither of them have come off. So
in all weathers, yeah,
all weathers.
It must be pretty good.
Sleet, snow, hail, wind. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Love it, what you're saying there. I think because, like I say, it was about 10, 11 quid the camera, the microphone, and I've never had a problem with it. Since I've done it to mine, but it might be because of the way I've run the cables and used cable ties and stuff to hold it in place rather than it been flapping around. Well, that's the engineer in me sort of thing. You know, it's like I'm used to running cables and using cable ties and sticky pads, these special adapters.
Yeah,
but they're quite good.
The next couple of weeks. So.
Yeah, they do. You know, you get a bag of them for like. I think there's 100 of them, these things for like £5 off of Amazon. You know, and my brother used to like having all the undercar lights on his cars.
Yeah.
So I used to do that quite a lot for him. Every time we got a new car, I'd run the lights for him and that around the motor. So he
and all the cables in these little blocks sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, these little pads, what you use for cable ties, you just hold on with double-sided tape. And you can put the cable tie through them and then lock it down, and it's stuck to the bodywork of the car underneath, you know. And they work really, really well. They're I can't think what they call them. The name's bugging me, but they're bloody good. They really, really are. I'm just going to see if I can find the name of them. Let me see if I can find them. Probably not under my orders. Probably gone off with it.
It's true.
Well, they are really, really. So I'm just going to have a quick look through so if we can find them. It does mind nothing when it goes like last 6 months, last year. So I am looking. what do you call them? That's it. Clip-on microphone. That's the new microphone I got. Double-sided tape. That's that's my tape. Because sometimes they don't show up on the orders because they're out of stock or the person's not selling them anymore.
Yeah.
Who's struggling to keep your eyes open, Simon?
I am a bit.
Yeah.
I'm a bit. I was up at
Sorry,
6 o'clock
Simon.
this morning,
I'll
that's
quickly
all right. I was up at 6 o'clock this morning, so.
Right, that's it. They call them black cable tie bases. That's what they call them.
Cable tie bases, okay.
Yeah, they're called 100 pack of black cable tie bases, 19mm by 19mm. Beaming self-adhesive mounts, basically. But it's pretty neat. Yeah. Like I said, these are 19mm by 19mm, and the 100 pack of black cable tie bases, premium adhesive fixing mounts by God knows what they call that. Go cable lights.
And that just stops any cables flapping about, basically. Then.
Yeah, it did cost me £5.89.
That's not bad, is it?
For a pack of 100.
Right,
So,
check them out.
Yeah, but they're handy for.
Huh?
You found them?
I think I found them. Hang on.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
I just put a link in.
Yeah, let me have a look.
What's going to happen if I click on that then?
Have a look.
Just take it to Amazon.
Yeah, I'll just take your time with them. Yeah.
Oh, that's where they are, is it? Oh, they should be easy enough to find them, shouldn't they?
Yeah.
On there. That's all right. Yeah.
So I'm just opening the link up. Yep, that's them. Yeah, that's them, Simon. Yeah. They're exactly the ones I bought, actually. But yeah. Well, that's what I used. They're, I don't think many people know about them, but they're designed for if you're running cables in your house or whatever, or stuff like that. You can stick them to the wall, run the cables, and then cable time, and it keeps them all neat.
Very similar things to run the cable from my dash cam around the windscreen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do them in different sizes. Oh, they're very useful. I've run that Cat5 cables in the house, for the internet.
Yeah.
And I've used them for that rather than using trunking. Trunking. I've used those. You can just stick them to the skirting board and run the cable along them and tie it back.
Oh, I could do with some of them, because like phone cable and stuff,
They're very handy for running cables around your bike as well, because you can stick them where you want.
Yeah.
On that route.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like Simon said, if you put in in a trickle charger cable or
USB cables and things,
something like that, you can run it around. You can stick them anywhere on the bike.
Yeah.
And just cable tie it to the frame, sort of thing, or onto that.
Because I've got a USB socket under my seat, so I could run cables from that.
Well, yeah, I think you can, stateside, those things. If you look in America, if you just look for the same thing, cable tie bases, you'll find them. Yeah, they're all like.
It's the same when I want to buy anything from America.
Yeah.
It costs me a fortune.
Oh, no.
I'm a big Philadelphia Eagles fan, and I'll buy a shirt from America, and it costs me nearly the cost of the shirt.
Sure, yeah.
Exactly. I've just bought some carburetor float bowl things, seals. The rubber for the carburetors. 4 of them from the States. They were a good price to buy, but by the time you've paid import tax and all the rest of the shit, it costs about 40 quid.
Yeah.
For these 4 rubbers, little rubber things. Yeah.
I've said excuse the noises in the background. One little grandkid.
I think the import tax was 10.
So. Well, yeah, I've used them for years. Those little cable tie bases. It's just, it's just one of those things from my old jobs and that, what I sort of know about, and it's like,
Well,
but they do them in various sizes. They do them in different sizes because you can get the small, medium, large ones. And
they do them in different colours as well, then, like black and white.
Yeah. I think you'll probably find white ones and black ones. I don't think they do them like in red or blue, right? I think the most common is white or black.
But I mean, for skirting boards, you'd have white ones, and
but like I say, they do them in different sizes, because obviously depending what size cable ties you're using,
cool.
But they're the large ones because I use large cable tie, right, and it's just happened to be the ones what I'd got when I stuck them on the helmet.
And that just saves you using one of them like little cable staplers or something like
that. Yeah.
You can,
and the other thing as well, the good thing is if you do rip the cable out, you can just unpull them off the wall, the skirting board or whatever. It's like if you wire something into your bike and you've had enough, they just pull off, and then you just remove the double-sided tape, residue.
No.
No.
Some of them.
I tell you, that's the old engineering me. It's the old electromechanical engineer. It's like, oh yeah, I know what I'll need. Go on Amazon. Yeah, that's what I need. Yeah. It's like, it's just it's weird how I know about stuff like that. Like I say, it's my old job. So.
Oh, it's useful knowing things like that, isn't it?
Oh yeah, well that's what I mean. I was an electromechanical engineer, so it's like, I did all my electromechanical training on.
Different way of sort of seeing things, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it's like my mate. Even when he rang me up about he's putting his screen on his MT-09. And I thought I'd ring you because you're pretty good at this kind of stuff. And I rolled up. I took one look at the instructions and went, "Oh yeah, I know what I need to do." And put the instructions down. Didn't look at them again. I was like, 2 hours later, the screen's fitted to the bike after a lot of cursing. The only thing I didn't like about on his bike, and he didn't even notice it, is the indicators on it are held on by like a rubber grommet with a plastic clip on the other side. And he didn't realise that both of his were hanging loose.
Really?
And it's only because I noticed it. And I went, "Have you seen this?" And he's like, "What?" I said, "Look." And I'm wobbling his bloody indicator around in my hand. And he's like, "Oh, can you put it back on?" I went, "Yeah, let me have a look." So it took me about 5 minutes to work out it was held on. Yeah. And then he walks around to the other side of his bike and touches the other one, and the other one frigging falls off.
What? And that's original ones, is it?
What are on the bike.
Bloody hell.
And then I looked and I went, the clips come off the back of it. And it hadn't broke. They just vibrated loose, the clips had. And they're like this weird rubber grommet into plastic. It's not a nut and bolt job. It's a weird rubber grommet thing. Just holding them on. And I was cursing his bike, talking about how cheap and cheerful it was bloody made and that. But it is a Yamaha.
And it's not like these things are cheap, is it, really? That's how they make their money. They cut corners like that, I suppose.
Yeah. Look, I was cursing this chuffing bike because putting that screen on was the most fiddliest thing I've done in my chuffing life because of the amount of room he got to work in. And I was absolutely cursing the bike. And then when we noticed that about his indicators, I started cursing the indicators how they were held on. And he says, "You're going to have a good laugh with your mates on YouTube about this, aren't you?" And I goes, "Yeah, I bloody am." Tell him what a piece of crap it is. Yeah. I was absolutely bloody cursing the bike.
Mind you, it is quite a rapid bit of crap.
Oh, yeah, I know, but I was looking at it and I'm like thinking, what? Yeah. Especially when I saw how the indicators were hold on, I thought, you're paying that much money for the bike and to do that to put the indicators on. It's like, my Michigan indicators are held on a lot better than his.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, it's not the sort of thing you notice either, is it? When you buy them, you wouldn't go around looking at things like that.
No, but it's only because, like I say, I was, it's because I was near it that I noticed it was at a funny angle. And I'm like looking at it thinking, that don't look right. And then when I touched it and felt it was loose, and looked around the back and saw the clip weren't in, I thought, what's going off here then? And I said to him, I said, "You knocked it out when you somebody walked into it or something, and he's like, not that I'm aware of. And then when he went around the other side and touched the other side, and it just bloody fell loose on him. I was like, you've got to have knocked him, or when you've been out on one of the bike meets or something, people have been looking around the bike and getting probably too close to it and not realise you've knocked them.
Brushing the bike, yeah.
Because, our bike is we all park up next to each other at a funny angle, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, it only takes one just to knock it.
Exactly, yeah.
Well,
hey, did you look at that freewheeler I sort of said about? 300?
I've looked at a few. I looked at, because I didn't realise Peugeot done one. The Metropolis.
That's right, they do, yeah.
Yeah, the Metropolis, but they're only 300 cc's because I got mixed up with the Nikon and the Tri-City. Because the Nikon is the one you needed.
The Nikon's a big engine, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's the one you needed a full car license on. Bike license with the Nikon, because the wheels weren't far enough apart.
Right.
The Tri-City is a new one. They do it in a 125 and they're bringing out the 300 cc.
Yeah.
Because I'd already been looking at that one.
Yeah.
And then you got that Peugeot Metropolis thing.
Yeah.
Which looks really, really good. Apart from, again, it's only 300 cc. Now, the
but they don't have a doubt, though. I mean, this guy on this one,
yeah.
he were getting 70, no problem.
Oh, yeah, they don't, they do shift.
Yeah.
But the Piaggio MP3, they do that in the 300 cc and the 500.
Oh, right, okay.
And if I was going to go down that line, I'd go for the bigger engine.
Yeah, of course.
Because, 300 cc, it'll do 70, 80, 90 mile an hour easily.
Yeah.
But it's only
working
300.
harder, yeah.
It's working harder with especially if I've got the misses on the back and we do use the touring kit on it,
The 500 would be better. And could you do the 500 without a test, though? Can you do that?
Yeah, the 500 you can still ride on a car license.
Oh, that's all right then.
Because it's got a reverse gear and a handbrake.
Yeah. Oh, right.
And it's also got you've got the foot brake on the floor as well, like in a car.
Yeah.
Sort of thing, which obviously does the braking on the front and the back, as well as you've got your individual front and rear on the bike, as well as on the
That's right. They're on the handlebars, aren't they? The right is the front and the left's the rear.
So if you're used to riding a motorbike, then you can use the ones on the handlebar sort of thing rather than the foot pedal thing. But I have been looking at them. But like I say, I did get mixed up with the Nikon and the Tri-City. The Nikon is the one you needed to do a full bike license on, which was why they didn't sell many of them.
Because, what are they? Something like 800 or something, aren't they?
Yeah, they were a big bike, but because the wheels weren't far enough apart for the UK law, they didn't sell many of them.
No,
which is why they've come out with a Tri-City, which is wide enough to be apart.
Yeah,
and like I say, because the point is the whole idea of them is for people who commute into town and have got a full car license, rather than using the bus or the train or the car, they use one of them.
Yeah.
Because it's cheaper and easier, and you can still filter with them. That was the idea of the market.
That's right. Yeah. Well, this one you were on, you see, that were like that, and it also had this like little button on it that when you come to a stop,
it locks the suspension upright.
Yeah, and you don't need to put your
feet down. No, the Piaggio, because the Piaggio MP3 was the first one to come out, and they've got it on it, and all of them have got that on it. Where when you pull up at a set of trot lights, you can press that button, and it locks the suspension upright.
Yeah,
you can actually get off the bike and not have to put a stand down once that button's pressed.
Oh yeah, I'm sure
lock it up. It would just lock it upright. And then you're, like you say, and then when you pull away with the accelerator, it unlocks suspension and off you go. But the whole idea of them...
You just twist the grip and it does it automatically, does it?
Yeah, it just unlocks it automatically when you do that. But the whole idea of them was to get car drivers into biking.
That's a good idea.
Because, like I say, you've got the free wheels. It's not like the conventional trike where you've got the big back wheels and you get stuck in traffic still. You know, it's designed so it meets meets the legal requirement to be a trike, because I
Yeah.
think it's 450 mil or something like that. They have to be apart, the front wheels.
Yeah.
But it rides like a normal motorbike. You
Yeah.
know, when you can throw it around the bends and that.
Yeah, and it's not that wide that you can't filter with it and stuff.
And it's not that wide you can't filter with it.
Yeah.
So the design for that, somebody with a car license can just walk in and go, I want one of them, here's your money, and ride it out that day sort of thing, you know.
Yeah, the 500 would be good.
Rather having to go through the hassle of doing your CBT, your Mod 1, Mod 2,
Yeah,
and having to redo your theory test and your hazards of perception and all that lot. It's purely designed so you can just walk in with a car license and go, I want one of them, and go out on it. But they do actually advise that you do a CBT, funnily enough.
Okay.
A lot of the places do. You know, so you get used to handling a bike rather than just jumping on one.
So it would be cheaper to insure then as well, would they?
Well, I don't know what the insurance is like on them actually, because I've not looked into that. But I should think they'd be cheaper because of the factor of they're technically
class that they're more stable and
Yeah, they're a lot more stable, as you say, we're having the free wheels and that lot on it.
Yeah.
Well, like I say, I've been looking because I stumbled across the Peugeot one by accident because I was just looking at sort of like the sort of best free wheel bike to get, and they still reckon the Piaggio MP3 is the best one out of the lot, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it's because of the 500cc aspect in that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Because all the others are only 300s.
Yeah.
Piaggio, you've got the option, the Yamaha Tri-City, sorry, is it Yamaha? Yeah. Yamaha Tri-City, they do it in a 125, which I find is a bit weird. Why would you want to buy a 125 free-wheeler when you might as well just do your CBT? Unless you don't want to keep doing your CBT every year. That's probably the loophole around that. And then do them in 300s. Whereas Piaggio are the only ones what I found at the moment what do it in 500cc. Because the Peugeot one, they reckon it's quite heavy for what it is. Because
so would that be a 500 single then, or a twin? Be a twin, would it?
I think it's still a single. I'm not sure.
It? Wow. Interesting.
500cc single. Wow.
That'd be
I think it is.
good, wouldn't it?
I don't know. Actually.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah, let me have a look.
Be a talky thing, I suppose, wouldn't it, if it was a single? Fire every lamp.
That's right. They do it. See, the Piaggio, they do it in 350, 300, 350, and a 500. So
I'm going to look that up. I've never seen one of them.
Yeah. I'm just looking at it now. Come on, specs. I want the specs. Come on. I know it's Piaggio 500 Sports Advanced.
Single twist and go as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's twist and go. Single cylinder, 500 HP high performance engine. Can be summarised in 2 words: sturdy and reliable. Its power comes from 4 liquid cooled valves and electronic ignition and ride-by-wire system. So yeah, it is a single cylinder. So that's directly from the Piaggio site. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I like that. I do like it. Well, you know, that's the one I keep looking at. See, the Tri-City, it makes you laugh because it's got a... I just wish they did it in a 500. You know what I mean? Because I like some of the features on it, like the electronic screen at the front, you know, where you can raise the screen up. Some of the features on it are fantastic. I love them. But it's only 300cc.
I suppose if they catch on well, they might do a bigger one.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Because like I say, they did a little 125 and then, you know, it's a shame they don't do it in a 500. And I think they might do if they start selling them. But Piaggio are the only ones at the moment what offer the 300 and 350.
It's a bloody good idea for somebody like you say who's drives a car and commutes. Yeah. And don't particularly want to do the bike thing.
Yeah,
So
well,
best of both there, haven't they?
the increase in sales happened during the pandemic
Yeah.
because a lot of people didn't want to get on the buses, they didn't want to get
No.
on the train,
No.
they didn't really want to take the car into work, especially
No.
around London,
Mm.
because of the congestion charge and all that lot.
Yeah.
So they sold quite a lot of them during that period because people could just walk in with the car license and go, I want one of them, rather than taking the car, because it's cheaper to insure, it's cheaper to tax,
Yep.
it's cheaper to run than taking your car in.
Yeah.
And that's why they sold a
And
lot of them.
they've also got this ULIS thing in London. What's that about, then? That's something to do with emissions, isn't it? ULIS?
Oh yeah, the ultra low emission zone where I think it's electric vehicles or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think that's why
So if
people
you haven't got that certificate on your bike, you can't go in there then.
You can Google it. You go on their website and you have a look and you put your registration in. It will tell you whether or not you're compliant or you've got paid.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
it
did
just
that.
means
I
you've
did
got
that
to
in
pay.
Birmingham. I was in Birmingham in November, and I went into their ultra low emission zone,
Mm.
and I didn't realise I was going into it until I rode under the side, looked up, and went, "Oh fuck!" Because my hotel was right in the middle of the bit where I was staying.
Right.
So obviously I parked up everything else, and I got straight online, and my bike is compliant, so it didn't cost me anything.
I was lucky then.
Most motorbikes after 2007 are compliant and don't have to pay.
I'd be stuffed then.
There is a place you can go to get your bike tuned for about 350 quid where you don't have to pay this. Yeah,
I'll just stay out of the cities then.
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Fuck at that. Christ.
Because the ultra low emission zone for London is actually now, I think it's either now or it's coming, where it's going to cover the Ace Cafe.
Right.
So if you're going to go to the Ace Cafe, you've got to pay the £22 emission zone or whatever it is.
It's going to do their business a lot of good, isn't it?
It is, because they run a lot of fucking big old white classics and things. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, with the
They don't
cars
think
and
of these
everything.
things, see, do they? They come up with these ideas.
No.
Yeah.
The only thing they're thinking about is saving the environment, which is
Bullshit.
wrong way of going about it, because I would like to see where all this money goes.
Mm,
Does it go towards offsetting carbon? I think not.
no.
And yeah, that's the main one really. Does it go to offsetting carbon? No, it doesn't.
Well, that's why the roads are so bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it used to be a road tax. It then turned into an environment tax.
Yeah.
And it don't go on the roads anymore.
No, you can tell.
Because
if you actually looked at how much money, just take London for example, how much money their congestion charge and their ULEZ charge and everything else is actually making to how much they're investing or putting back in, I think you'll find a deficit.
I bet. Yeah.
Because it annoyed me because she's got rid of it now, but our next door neighbour, she got a Lexus hybrid car. Now, bear in mind, this thing's 2-point-something litre engine under the bonnet, but because it's a hybrid, she only paid 20 quid a year road tax. I've got a 1.6 petrol, and I'm paying the full whack.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what's wrong, I've got a 1.6 diesel that's free.
Hey?
Yeah.
Diesel?
I've got a 1.6 diesel car that is free road tax.
Because of the exhaust emissions.
How's that then?
They swindled the exhaust emissions when they created the car, didn't they? Let's face it.
Yeah.
Flipping heck, yeah.
Well, that's what Volkswagen got done for, and a lot of them got done for, wasn't
it? Mine's a Peugeot, but I pay zero road tax on my car. My motorbike that causes less emission and does less damage to the road, I pay £80 a year.
Yeah, same. Yeah. Well, I thought mine might be a bit more than that. I don't know. But anyway, yeah.
Well, I paid 20 quid on that for that Michigan.
Well, it's because
Cost
you've got a
20
little bike, isn't it?
Well, it's
Yeah.
a single cylinder too, isn't it? I mean, if you
Yeah.
got, you know.
But like
Yeah,
I say,
I've got 4 times the cylinders, so I'll pay 4 times the amount.
Mad, yeah. But it's like I say, this is what used to annoy me with my next door neighbour. She got this great big bloody Lexus. Yeah, it got a 2-point-something litre engine under the bonnet, and I've got a 1.6 litre, and
you're paying more.
She was paying 20 quid a year in road tax, and I'm paying the full whack because I've got a 1.6 petrol.
That's because she's got a set of batteries that drive her car up to 15 mile an hour. That's what it is.
30 mile an hour. And then anything above 30 mile an hour, the engine kicks in.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, well, the only time she's going to be doing 30 mile
Don't
an
get
hour
me
is
started on the
Yeah, I
fucking
know.
environment, electric vehicles, and that again. I'll go on a rant.
It's
Well,
just you could go on and rant about that for hours, can't you? It is just
the only time she'd be doing 30 mile an hour is when she's local, because we're in a 20 mile an hour zone.
Yeah.
Less than 30. If she's around Nottingham, she'll be doing 30. If she's on the ring road, she'll be doing 40. So the petrol engine's kicked in.
yeah.
And then anything after that, it's 50, 60, 70. So the only time that thing would have been running on the batteries is if she's sat in traffic on the ring road or something, or going through the city centre or coming home.
I don't
She
know
used
how
to go
these
to
hybrids
Bradford.
work.
She goes to Bradford and everything all the time. The way they work is when it's in the eco mode, as they call it, or the hybrid mode, is up to 30 mile an hour. It's running on the batteries.
Okay.
The engine will then fire up if it thinks the batteries are getting low to charge the batteries up, but it won't provide power. Then anything above 30, the petrol engine kicks in, and it's purely run on the petrol engine. And while that petrol engine is running, it's also recharging the batteries at the same time. So let's say you live in a village where it's a 30 mile an hour limit.
Yeah.
So you're driving around the village doing 30, and your battery starts running low on the car. The engine will fire up, charge the engine batteries back up.
Does it?
As soon as the batteries are charged up enough, the engine cuts back off. She then drives out that village and hits the 60 mile an hour zone. As soon as she goes above 30 mile an hour, the petrol engine will kick in and provide the drive to the car, and the batteries are just then charged up off the petrol engine. So once she's on the motorway doing 70 mile an hour, like I am in my little 1.6 petrol, she's using a petrol engine, not the batteries.
Yes.
So how come just because of her driving, 2 or 3 miles around the city before hitting the motorway, she gets to pay 20 quid?
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as she hits the motorway,
it's crazy,
she's doing 70. It's bloody shit, and it's a 2-point-something litre engine, and it doesn't. The logic don't make sense.
No,
and that's why, and that's the worst thing they did. They turned the road tax from the road tax to an environment tax, and that's why all the roads in the UK are screwed with potholes and everything. They're closing our road for a few days because they're resurfacing it and filling in the holes.
Yeah, but it don't work, does it? It don't work.
Because I've made them aware of a few, because I've got a bloody pothole outside my driveway on the road.
Yeah.
And I pour in a report to the council about it, and it's got the yellow marks around it, and there's, road closure signs come up. They're relaying another road near us at the moment, and then they're going to be doing ours bit looks on it. And, and they're probably just going to fill the holes in rather than re-tarmac the whole bloody road.
Well, the way the roads are now, I mean, it's got to be doing people springing suspension in.
Well, that's where a lot of people have been suing the councils. Because if you hit a pothole and it's got those yellow marks around it, it means the council are aware of it. So if you hit that pothole and you damage your car, you can then sue the council for the damage, because they are aware of it and they haven't done anything about it.
Yeah.
Somebody's if it hasn't got the markings around it, then you can't do diddly squat because the council aren't aware of it. But as soon as that pothole's reported to the council, they come out, look at it, put the markings around it, and that, then they are aware of it. So if you then come along and damage your car because of that pothole and they have not repaired it, then you can sue for the council for the repairs to your car.
So really, as far as they go, then it's more of an incentive not to know about them, isn't it?
Yeah, for them not to know about it. And this is where more people in the UK need to go around going, potholed it, take a photo of it, log online onto your local council website, because it only took me 5 minutes. I just went online, put in my postcode, went, there's a pothole across the road from outside this house number. You know, boink, within a day, they came out, inspected it, marked it, and then sent me an email back saying, we've been out, we've looked at it, it'll be sorted on this day. You know. So now, if anybody hits that,
I've had 2 cars in the last 3 or 4 years that I've had to put new suspension on. And it's before that, years ago, never would have thought about putting springs and things, breaking springs on a car.
And it's like all the bloody speed humps around us, you know, because we're a 20 mile an hour zone. Because we've got 2 schools really close to us. So it's a 20 mile an hour zone, and we've got speed humps bloody everywhere. You know, and they're a pain in the arse.
Well, some of them are quite fierce too.
And the thing is the other thing as well is, if you're on a motorbike or in a car, they're meant to have a marking on them, an arrow on them, telling you that they're there, like a white arrow saying speed up. That marking's not there, and you come off your motorbike or damage your car because of it, you can sue the council because it's not clearly marked. You know.
Bet a lot of people don't know about that.
And the worst one, luckily enough, on our road, we've got them sort of the full width of the road, you know, and everybody knows where they are on the road. The ones I hate are the little square ones. I absolutely frigging hate them, where you go over, one half of your car goes over it, or the other half of your car goes over it, or if you're on a motorbike, you go between them both.
That's right.
Know. And I hate them ones. They're a pain in the arse, they are.
Yeah, I mean, I try and bridge them so that it's even both sides, and rather than kitchen it. You can't always do that, but you know.
No, you can't. If there's a car coming up the road towards you, because there's normally 3 of them, and there's 3 of them in the road. You normally get one either side and one in the middle. And if there's a car coming towards you, you've got to go over one of them. You know, you can't sort of balance over the 2.
Good stuff, then.
And I know the emergency services hate them as well, because it screws up their suspension on they're responding to a call, you know.
Oh, I bet it does,
Throws the tracking out, kills the
suspension,
And they've got to slow down. So.
Well,
somebody who's really poorly in the back, they don't want to be hitting them, do they?
No.
You know what I mean? Banging them about, sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, like I say, that's where the government went wrong in this country, and that's why roads are such in bad state, because it's local councils are having to pay for it, and they're not getting the money from road tax anymore.
No, they don't get any money from anywhere, do they, much?
Central government are taking it all, whereas in the past they used to go, right, here's your budget for the year.
That's right.
The road tax fund. So go and repair your roads, and that's why roads are screwed. Now they turn it into an environment tax, and it all goes to central government rather than getting split to your local government.
And you notice it's a lot of local councils will be sitting on that money, any money they have, trying not to spend it until towards the end of the year when they have to spend it to get their budget again.
Well, that's like any council run thing, any government run thing is they've got to spend it before the end of April.
That's right.
So they'll hold on to the money until right up to the last minute,
and
then go out and then they spend it on crap.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because they've got to spend it, because if they don't spend it, then they won't get the same amount of money the following year.
I mean, you think they'd come up with something better than that, wouldn't you, really?
Yeah. But I used to see in my old job, you know, we always used to get our big sales on office equipment towards the end of the financial year for the councils and the schools, because that's when they needed to spend the money.
Yeah.
And they'd buy new equipment. you know, and go,
Yeah.
right, can I have a new machine? I've got to spend this money, because if they didn't spend it the following year, they won't get that same amount of money
That's
again.
right. Yeah, that's exactly it.
They get a lower amount because they haven't spent it all.
Yeah. I mean, what a
And it's how-
ridiculous way of doing things.
Yeah, but it's how they order. So all the government.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
know. Wouldn't it make more sense then if they spent what they needed through the year, and if they were lucky enough to have a pool left, fair enough. Still get the same budget so that they can go and get something for the community or something like that. I don't know, but
well, no, it's how they all run. It's absolutely stupid.
Yeah.
It
I
really,
don't know who
really
thinks
is.
these things up. I really don't.
No.
They ain't got no common sense, have they?
No. I mean, it's all the managers for you. So, sorry, Simon, we're waffling.
Yeah.
No, you're all right, mate. Carry on.
We turned into Red Bomb and took over your live stream.
Yeah, because we got to spend an hour saying goodbye in a bit.
Yeah. He's a
Pleasure.
I got a bit, but he does make me chuckle.
That's
Really,
funny
really
as hell. I said goodbye to him about 3 times and he still kept going. He just gets on
David's
another
fantastic.
tangent and that's it.
Yeah, he's a great bloke. He really, really is. He's a lovely bloke. Don't get me wrong.
Funny.
Yeah, and he's right. That day I did come down and met Simon and Boo Ryder and Andy and Rhythmic Biker with here with Uncle Red and that lot. Had an absolutely fantastic day.
Yeah.
You know, it was an absolutely brilliant day. That was meeting everybody. So
One day I'm going to go down there. One day. I
yeah,
might spend the
and
night there somewhere.
I'm sure he hasn't got a sat nav on that bike. You know, Red Bomb.
Well,
Yeah,
Well,
but he's only got the county of super sausage on it.
I was going to say, what's the map? What memory card are you using for his map? You know, home to the super sausage.
He turns his sat nav on. It says, "Do you want to go home or the super sausage?"
Sausage, yeah. On a petrol station somewhere in between. Yeah.
Oh God.
No, he knows the way to the petrol station because he goes there quite regularly, so he don't need to set nav for that bit. But yeah.
It's only got 3 points of interest on it: local petrol station, home, and super sausage.
Yeah.
Now I haven't done them for a while, but in my own biker group that I'm an admin for, I used to do the before pre-pandemic. I used to do what I used to call the Salad Dodgers Run, which is every Saturday. I'd meet up with the group somewhere, and I'd say, right, we're going here, we're going there, we're going there. And it'd all be somewhere, a biker cafe somewhere. I mean, we've done Rikers, Silver Ball, H Cafe, Super Sausage. The other one that was open, I can't remember the name of it. And there's about 4 or 5 other places, and they were all a really good ride. And I used to rotate them. And, you know, we go near this week when we go with the Salad Dodgers Run. I used to call ourselves the Saturday Morning Club.
Yeah.
And do you remember the film in the, what was it, the 80s? The Saturday Morning Club?
Oh, I don't know that one. Who's in that?
It was a group of kids that were in detention on a Saturday for being naughty.
Oh, right.
Name rings bells.
Yeah. Google it, you'll find it. The Saturday Morning Club. And so I dubbed ourselves the Salad Dodgers Run or the Salad Dodgers Club because we're going somewhere for a greasy fry-up breakfast. And I used to rotate it all the time, and I had some great times. And you get 20 bikers turn up and say, yeah, all right, okay, we're meeting at McDonald's in wherever it was, Leighton Buzzard or Hotcliffe.
Yeah.
And then, right, okay, Simon's got the route, he'll sort it out. There you go. And off we go. And there was like 20 of us or more sometimes and less sometimes. But and it was just so much fun. But we used to go to different places all the time.
Yeah.
Well, Red Bomb rides 8 miles to a cafe and 8 miles back up one road. It's, oh my God, it's tiring.
It's quite a fast 8-mile road, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's 70 mile an hour, but it's a dual carriageway, so that you know, it gives you a hint as well because it's the A5, it's the old London Road, and it was built by the Romans, so that gives you an idea of how many
Oh,
corners
right.
were on.
Yeah. That'd be a good
Yeah.
one.
It's a bit like the A1 near us, straight as a
Exactly,
bloody
you go
anything.
straight. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Have you been to that?
Fossway.
What's that one in London where you drive through past the cafe into an underground car park?
Oh, the old London Cafe. I've never been there. I want to go.
I've seen somebody go there. I was watching somebody's YouTube video, and he went there, and you're literally driving down like the pavement, aren't you? And
You're
then you
driving
by the
between,
cafe,
Between the tables, aren't you?
tables, yeah. And then you park up in the car park, and then
I wouldn't
sort of
mind
the
wander
underground
around.
little car park they got there. It's very little.
Mm.
I've got some friends of mine that have been there, and they've said, you got to go, you got to go, you got to go. And I was all for getting planning a trip. And I don't like to do A to B route. I like to do a little bit of a detour. And if we can get in some sites and that on the way, I like to do it that way.
Yeah.
But it takes quite a bit of planning for my route. And I was all up for doing it, and then pandemic struck, and
Yeah.
I'd never actually got down there and doing it. So
Yeah.
Be
worth doing
that. Fun. Yeah, that one does look fun.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I want to see how many people I can knock off their chairs with my panniers. You know.
Yeah. See how many cups of coffee you can knock over with your panniers. Yeah. Well, it's weird.
So has it got a small car park, that place, then?
Yeah. It's an underground small car park, and it's like a tunnel. But yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So if you hit it on the wrong day, you might not get parked.
You may not, yeah. Or you might have to compromise your parking, where you just dump it, and then somebody's got to ask you to move so you can get out. Yeah.
You see, we don't get many places like that around neck of the woods. You know, like
no, you don't up here
like
either.
The super sausage sort of thing who do the bike meets every Sunday. It's like the only things we get around here is the pub that Robin Hood went to has been taken over by new management, and quite a few of us have asked the new manager on Facebook if he's going to start doing the bike nights again. But he's not replied to any of us yet. The biggest one is the MFN, Miles from Nowhere.
Yeah.
We have Matlock Bath, which is where all the bikers go when it's nice weather. So I can guarantee tomorrow, if it's sunny, it's going to be absolutely ram-packed.
Yeah.
And you can only park there for an hour now on your motorbike, whereas in the past you could park for as long as you want because they've clamped down on it.
Yeah.
And then there's the only other place I know, a bit like the Super Sausage, is a place called the Green Hut, which I keep meaning to go up to see if they do any, like, you know, Sunday morning bike meets or out like that, you know, because that'd be an interesting one. And there's the only other bike club I know of is the Soul Takers, which is in Mansfield. And then there's one near me, but I went to it once and I didn't get made to feel very welcome. It's the oldest bike club in Nottingham, and they don't seem to run the Facebook page properly, you know, or out like that. And it's a bit of it's the feeling you get, you know, when you turn up.
You feel like an outsider.
Yeah, when you roll up as a newbie.
Yeah.
Whereas when I went to the Robin Hood, that one in Lamley, I rolled up there. I gets off in Michigan, and it was like, as soon as I got off the bike, like 4 blokes were talking to me about my bloody bike. Because they went, that looks like a sinister hoodlum. And I went, they're the same bike.
Yeah.
And they're like, really? I goes, yeah. And there was quite a few of them were on 125s, you know. So they were all looking around the Michigan because it's the first time they've seen one in the flash, you know, sort of things. And they were all looking around it. So they were asking me about it, sort of thing. And I was having a nose at their bikes. And, you know, before I knew it, I was sat there and I was there for about an hour and a half. You know, I wasn't meant to be there for that long because they were nattering.
Yeah.
We're all nattering about our bikes.
Yeah.
You know, and they made you feel so welcome. You know, so that's why I'm trying to find out myself if this new landlord is going to carry on running it, you know, on a Monday night, because that one is local to me and it's a nice little place. Because The MFM one can get a bit crazy because there's been a few accidents and things like that, you know.
Oh,
'cause of
people
the
doing
place.
stupid things. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, because it's like most sort of big meets. You know, you always get the one or two idiot there, don't you? You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he does bike nights and he does car nights, and there's been quite a few car crashes and stuff as well. You know,
It's not so good.
but it's just finding somewhere like, you know, because there's a beautiful cafe on the A614 called the Lounge Cafe, and well, it's more of a truck stop type thing, you know, because it's main arterial route.
Right.
When it's like they should start doing like a Sunday morning bike meet or something like that, because they get all the boxes from the area roll up.
Yeah.
You know, but I know the Green Up, which is a bit further up the road, does it. So I'm going to go and check that one out and see if they do any particular days.
Round here, I've got Squires, which is on the A1, but that's heading up past Leeds. But
Yeah,
a hell of a lot of bikes go there. I mean, that's all the time.
yeah,
that's quite good.
Because it's like, my name comes from the fact that my dad was called Trevor, my brother was called Michael or Mick, and the B is the beginning of our surname. And so the empty belly was because they used to run a roadside catering unit. My dad and my brother.
Yeah.
So the name is so the empty belly, because it sounds like empty belly.
Yeah.
Comes from that, and that's why I still keep the name running.
It was a good name for the place, that was, wasn't it? Empty belly.
For the roadside cafe, you know, one of these catering units on the roadside. Because my dad had an old Comma Caravette with a tow bar on the back.
And a trailer.
With a trailer on the back of that.
Yeah.
And the Comma Caravette was one of those over the cab ones, you know, and it got a bog in it, you know.
Oh, right,
toilet in it.
Yeah.
So it was an old, you know, motorhome, the old Comma motorhomes.
Commas were good old vans, yeah.
Yeah. So we had one of them with a, like I say, tow bar on the back with a trailer on the back. So they go and park up in the lay-bar with that. And of course, if anybody needed to use the bog, they got the bog in the case, you know, in the Comma to use. And that, and they ran that for a good few years, and that's where the name came from.
Excellent.
So, well,
anyway,
you know,
I think it's time to go to bed now because
I just realised how long we've been live for.
It's 1:20 in the morning.
Yeah, 2 hours.
We've done 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah. Sorry, Simon, we've just been waffling. I do enjoy this.
No, I'll tell you, I like it. I like listening to
I
you.
do, actually.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good fun.
Chilled
I enjoy
waffling.
it. Well, it does me a load of good as well. Just get on and natter to humans, you know, rather than staring at four walls.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's good for your health, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what I mean. And I'm sat here and I'm thinking, I really want to go join Simon. I really want to join Simon. And then when Tina sort of like moved, I thought, oh, I'll ask her. And she's like, yeah, but don't do camera because I don't want the lights on. It was like, okay, I'll see if Simon's all right with that.
Simon's all right with most things.
Yeah.
Rather than me sitting here on my fucking own.
Yeah. That's
I'd rather have a group so we can have a discussion because this isn't the Simon show, it's the us show.
Yeah. But no, it was so I apologise for no camera tonight, folks.
No,
I've got the grandkids here and I've had to keep my voice down and I can't put the lights on. So
that made a lot of difference.
It's all good, MP. It's all good, MP.
Crumbly,
thank you for joining us. You don't do it often.
Thank you, Mal. Thank you for joining us, Crumbly. I do enjoy chatting to you.
Yeah, it's been good.
That's why I said, come on, Crumbly, get on camera.
It's quite a different show to Red Bombs, isn't it? We're a bit more relaxed.
Yeah. I like that.
Because we haven't got a hyper host that wants to take over.
Well, sometimes I think, well, why is everybody else on there?
I just sit there and look in the corner. I'm like,
I noticed that.
I'll get a fucking word in a minute.
Yeah, he's all
Good
right.
for a
I
laugh,
like
though.
it.
It's good for a laugh.
He's a
Well,
he's a
he's
lovely
brilliant.
bloke, but he's very much me. So yeah.
Yeah, he's all right.
Take him as
I
you
do
find
like.
him. You know what you're getting on. You know what's on the tin.
Anyway, thank you to Lover of You for your comments and that tonight. It's been great talking to you from Western Virginia.
Yes.
Shadow was in earlier. Lisa was in earlier. Mrs. Crazy Dad Biker and Crazy Dad Biker. Crazy Dad Biker wants me, well, actually, his wife wants me to teach him how to adjust his chain on his bike, and I'll do that for him free of charge, because that's the kind of guy I am. And everybody else is in the side chat. Thank you very much. It's much
Yeah,
appreciated.
Simon Brackett. I don't know whether Simon Brackett's still here or if he disappeared. He was in a
I don't know if he disappeared, reappeared, or whatever, but I mean, he's having internet issues. So, yeah. Thank you to MT Billy and Crazy Mal, Crumbly Mal for
No, you're welcome.
Mal. That's your new name.
Yeah. We'll take it.
Oh, fuck that up. Cut that bit out and we'll start again. Thank you to MT Belly and Crumbly Mal.
Yeah.
For not making me feel awkward and having to answer questions all night. That was much appreciated.
No, you're welcome, Simon.
No
I do enjoy this. I do enjoy
I
this.
was going to ditch it 5 minutes in. I really was. I was going to go like, you know what, fuck it, it ain't happening. But we've been on for 2 hours, 45 minutes. So thank you guys.
No, you're welcome, Simon.
Thank you guys for your entertainment. And I'd just like to say, you know, you're all brilliant. You're all great. And I'm going to run my video and we'll say good night. Have a good weekend. And as I always say, keep it rubber side down, shiny side up.
Yeah. Thanks, Simon.
Thank you,
Anyway.
guys.
Great chatting to you. And you, Mal. Catch
See
you later, mate.
then, guys. Have a good one.
Yeah. Cheers, folks.
Bye-bye.
Good night.